On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass. We ballin' no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? And you know what's going down today. Guess what? Guess what? Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it all the way off now. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You know what's going down today. But first, please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. That there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. How y'all doing today? How's everybody? You know, it's a beautiful, it was rainy and nasty this morning, but it turned into a beautiful day here in the Richmond, Virginia, in the Richmond, VA. It is January 23rd, 2023. How is everybody doing today? I'm feeling pretty good, despite the fact that I have a swollen face again because of the bad chop I have in the back of my mouth. But it is what it is. That ain't gonna spoil my mood today. Oh, wow. I hope everybody has a wonderful, safe, and blessed week. I really do. And shout out to my black and gold fam and my fam in general. Again, I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful week ahead of them. As, again, beautiful day outside. Clear skies, sun is shining. All appears to be right in the world, at least at this time today on January 23rd, 2000 of the 23. Before I start getting into these topics, I would definitely like to wish my daughter a early happy 7th birthday. My London Bree is going to be 7 years old on Wednesday, and she is so hyped. When I woke her up this morning, she said, "Daddy, it's 2 days before my birthday." So if you guys get a chance, whether it's in the comment box or on YouTube or if it's on Facebook, just wish my little princess a happy birthday. That's my baby girl. She deserves it. She really does. And one more topic I'm going to bring up before sports, because I think that this is definitely more important than sports. We're going to have a little life right here. Yesterday, I always get weekly text messages and weekly phone calls from my son's middle school and from Henrico County Public School. You know, they do it every week just to let you know what information or anything that's coming up in the upcoming school week, anything, yada, yada, yada. Well, there was an email sent to me, and I'm sure many other parents who have children that go to Henrico County Public Schools, and apparently, and I'll tell you, I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news because the news to me can be depressing. But there's word that there was a loaded gun found that a student had in a book bag. A 7th grader had a loaded gun in a book bag at a middle school in Short Pump. Which for those of you who don't know is in the western Henrico County, and to go into more detail, it is the suburbs. It is a very, very nice area. It is a very nice area. And loaded gun, 7th grader. And I went on Facebook Live yesterday and I voiced my concern because in this email it said that in February, they're going to be trying out metal detectors at certain schools in Henrico County Public Schools. Certain schools. Here's my issue. I have a few issues with that. One, in September, now this was on the news. In September, there was a student who had a knife at the middle school my son goes to, Brooklyn Middle School. And I live off of Staples Mill Road. My son goes to Brooklyn Middle School right off Parham Road. That is in the West End. Again, West End, supposed to be a safe area. And this was in September. So When I found about this, when I found out about this in September, because there was a text message sent to all of the parents who have kids that go to that school that the school was on lockdown because of the information. So I called the school. Excuse me. I speak with the front office, and I voiced my concern about metal detectors back then. And my issue is, you already found a knife in one middle school. Now you find a gun. The fuck are you waiting for when it comes to making sure that these kids are safe? My issue is that you don't want to have this perception or this persona that kids in certain neighborhoods, that schools in certain neighborhoods aren't safe as they are made to be because of the popularity or expense of that neighborhood. A neighborhood like Short Pump shouldn't have metal detectors in schools because these you know how much it costs to live out here. These are fine folks that live out here. And they raise their children right and yada yada yada. The metal detectors need to be in the urban areas, in the city areas, aka where the black kids go to. And if you could sit there and say to me, Brandon, why are you taking it there? Because it's clear as day. There have been metal detectors in city schools for years. My thing is that, for one, you're already playing with fire when you find a knife, a weapon in a middle schooler's book bag in September. Why are you gonna wait? So you first find a knife, then you find a gun. What is it next? Somebody gets shot? Shots ring out in the middle school, and newsflash, these are schools that are happening in areas where you don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, I can't believe this happened here. Believe it. Because these kids today have no filter. These kids today have no filter. They're not in touch with their parents. This kind of behavior is encouraged at every turn you look at. Social media, all of this stuff. And as parents, and I'm gonna say this, particularly parents in rich suburban neighborhoods, those parents are ignorant as fuck. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I'm not saying that as far as an IQ level, no, but as far as I pay money to have my child in this. I pay money for my child to do that. You can pay for this, that, and the third and keep your child on a schedule all you want to. If you don't have your child's ear, if you're not in touch with your child, then guess what? All the money that you shell out means absolutely nothing. Nothing. These kids have access to weapons, drugs at an all-time rate. And what pisses me off is that it doesn't get attention until it happens in a neighborhood where it's not, quote unquote, supposed to happen. When I said something on Facebook, and Heather, my sis from another miss, Heather, was saying about all the things that's going on in Holland Springs. And, I ride Holland Springs, my black and gold fam. And my thing is, I said, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter. What am I trying to, let me get my words together. What I'm trying to say is, what I was trying to tell her is that, okay, metal detectors are coming into Holland Springs. Okay, fine. But metal detectors shouldn't have just been coming in Holland Springs. It should be coming in all schools around Henrico County Public Schools. To me, it should be in all schools, period. Period. Because when I read on the email that the superintendent is, quote unquote, so angry because parents shouldn't have to have anxiety about sending their children to school, and teachers shouldn't have anxiety about coming to teach the kids. Well, first of all, if you make sure your security is tight, then nobody would have anxiety. Just because you're at a rich-ass school in Short Pump, Holman Middle School, which is in Short Pump, which is where this fucking gun was found, doesn't mean, just because it's a rich neighborhood, doesn't mean it doesn't require protection. Because you can't assume that just because the price of somebody's home is significantly different in one neighborhood than the next, that is safer in that neighborhood. No, that's not the case. Assholes are everywhere. Crazy people are everywhere. Unfortunately, bad children are everywhere. As a matter of fact, the children who have access to the things that could cause more trouble are in the rich neighborhoods because they have the money and the access. As much as people don't want to see that. You don't hear about it when the shit happens in Holland Springs, or it happens in Henrico, or it happens in Verona, because East End schools has always had a bad reputation to begin with. Western schools were made to be so much better than Eastern schools, yada, 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 yada. But the last few years, when I've heard about situations happening, particularly in Henrico County Public Schools, it has been all in the Western area where it's not, quote unquote, supposed to happen. And y'all playing with fire. You find a knife in a middle schooler's book bag in September. Now it's January and you find a gun. And now, in February, how about today? In every school, not just the schools that has a huge black population, because you think that black kids don't know how to act, or in black neighborhoods, this is to be expected. That is some bullshit. You playing yourselves. And as parents, if you don't have the ear of your kids, it doesn't matter how much money you make or how busy you try to keep them. It really doesn't matter. The parents give the kids an electronic device or something to keep them out of your hair and not getting on your nerves. That's what a lot of parents do. I don't give a fuck how rich or how poor you are, particularly in today's climate where it's always something going on. And social media, it's always something going on out there that ain't got a damn thing to do with your household, but people want to be so damn nosy and keeping up with the Joneses and all of this other crap that it takes your focus off making sure your kids is good. There's so many distractions out here that keep parents from worrying about, from being in you as a parent, you need to be in your kid business. And one thing I tell you, I do not allow shut doors in my house unless people are transitioning in and out the shower. No, I want to know what the hell my kids are doing at all time. If I walk upstairs and there's a shut door, I'm opening that joint. I'm looking at them saying, no. Oh, no. You keep these doors open. I want to know. I want to communicate what's going on in my kids' life and what's going on in their household to make sure they're good. Because kids, particularly middle school, high school age, they're very impressionable. They can be easily influenced. And I let my kids know that there are going to be kids at their school that are not going to behave themselves the way that they should. But that doesn't mean you follow them. Don't follow them. Don't be, don't be mean to them. But there are going to be kids who don't act the way they should act. And it's okay with them. But that doesn't mean it has to be okay with my kids, because it damn sure ain't okay with me. So, yes, I felt I needed to address that before I get into any topics of sports, because, now we talking about life now. Okay, but are y'all ready to enter the realm of sports? We ready? You ready? They ready? We all ready. So, without further ado, y'all, let's get to it. Championship Sunday has officially been set. The matchups are set. All we got to do is just play the games this coming up Sunday. Now, how did we get there? How did we get to the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game? Well, we can start off with Saturday's game, Jacksonville at Kansas City. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to their 5th consecutive AFC Championship game. That is quite an accomplishment, as they defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-20. But, alas, Sir Patrick Mahomes is banged up. Now, Patrick Mahomes, I'm sure, will play in the AFC Championship game, but he has a high ankle sprain. And when I saw the play, I was like, ooh. So it totally sapped his athletic ability, his athleticism, which makes him so dangerous, particularly inside the pocket and making him mobile. But nonetheless, the Chiefs were able to grind out a 27-20 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if you're Jacksonville, you should feel good about your season. You should feel good about yourself. You should feel like you're heading in the right direction going forward. They did have chances in this game. They really did have chances. But KC is moving on. But what the big story is going to be all week will be the health of Patrick Mahomes, because a high ankle sprain, I've had a few of them. I guarantee you Patrick Mahomes is probably on some crutches today, or he's definitely in a walking boot, or maybe he's still in the bed. Who knows? Because a high ankle sprain ain't nothing to play with. But again, the Chiefs, this is just a credit to Patrick Mahomes' greatness. Ever since he's become a starter, since 2018, the Kansas City Chiefs has been in no less than the AFC Championship game. And that's special. That is definitely special. Being a model of consistency is definitely something that we should give a lot of credit and praise to. So they'll be back. Now, here was the big question. Would they host the AFC Championship game, or would they have to go to a neutral site? We'll get there. Be patient. In Saturday night's game in Lincoln Financial Field, the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles squared off for round 3 of this season. And what I was just loving is how at the midnight hour, the last minute, a bunch of people, talking heads, TV heads, radio heads, was just saying, I think the Giants got a chance. The only chance the New York Giants had in that game Saturday night was putting their uniforms on to come out to participate in the football game. Because other than that, they got their asses kicked thoroughly by the Philadelphia Eagles, who people were starting to question because of the way that they finished the season the last month, not looking too hot. Jalen Hurts with the sprained shoulder. They were wondering, how is he going to look? What's going to happen? Are the Eagles ripe to be upset? Well, the game was over with after the first quarter. The game was over with, and I'm not exaggerating.
Excellent.
It was 14-0 after the first quarter. It was 28-0 by halftime. The final score was 38-7. The Philadelphia Eagles walked the Dogs on the New York Football Giants, who have nothing to be ashamed of. The Giants definitely overachieved this season. Nobody thought that the Giants were going to be 2 wins away from possibly reaching the Super Bowl. Nobody thought the Giants really were going to even make the playoffs. Even after they started off the season 6-1, the way they were winning was kind of like, can they keep this going? And they got into the playoffs. They won a game. But when they got to Philadelphia, it's simple. They were outclassed. The Eagles are a better team. I mean, people were maybe trying to take more stock than they should have in that Week 18 game, which the Eagles only beat them by, 6 points? Something like 22-16? Something to that effect. But the Eagles came in and they meant business. That defensive front, man, Hassan Reddick is an absolute monster. That dude is a beast. Jalen Hurts had an efficient game. He had 154 yards passing. The Eagles rushed down the they rushed down the Giants' throat. Gainwell had over 100 yards. Miles Sanders nearly had 100 yards. Boston Scott got another rushing touchdown. Jalen Hurts had a rushing touchdown. Devontae Smith had a great game receiving. So did Dallas Goedert. A.J. Brown was kind of laying under the weeds, but you know what? They didn't need A.J. Brown to put on the cape because, like I said, this game was over with after quarter number 1. So with the Eagles beating the Giants, what does that mean? That means that no matter who they face, the NFC Championship game will be in Lincoln Financial Field, just like I said it would. Which now leads us to Sunday's games and the matchup, the continuation of the matchup that we never got to finish seeing. Of course, we all know what happened that fateful Monday night just 21 days ago when the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills met up in Cincinnati. The injury happened to Damar Hamlin, nearly costing him his life. By the grace of God, he's a wonderful heavenly father. Damar Hamlin is okay. He's getting better. Damar Hamlin was at the game. I predicted that one. I said, watch Ham, because he'd been showing up to the facility every day. I said, watch D-Ham end up being at this game. And sure enough, he was there with his family sitting in a suite. It was snowy in Buffalo. The field looked like a white Christmas, looked like something that as kids we would love to go out and play football with. And the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills were ready to finally play a complete game. And let me tell you what happened. All the Cincinnati Bengals did is pick up right where they left off in that Monday night game before the injury happened. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the shit out of the Buffalo Bills 27-10 in Buffalo. I have said this before. I believe in Burrow and them Bengals. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals, I've said this for the last couple of weeks. If I was the Bengals, I would have a serious attitude with the NFL for the way they handled this situation involving this injury with DeMar Hamlin. I believe they did the right thing by stopping the game, by not continuing it that night. But even with all of the stipulations made, they were selling tickets for a neutral site AFC Championship game. The neutral site would have been in Atlanta had it been the Bills and the Chiefs. Almost like another shot of disrespect because, for one, for all intents and purposes, like I said, the Bengals picked up where they left off in that Monday night game. Had that game been completed and Cincinnati would have won, like they were going to do, that game would have been in Cincinnati instead of Buffalo. But Burrow and Chase and Mixon and Higgins and Boyd all said, you know what, no problem. We can go to Buffalo. We can take the snow. We can take the emotion of the crowd. What up, D. Hamlin? Happy you're doing better. But guess what? We coming in here and we taking your heart and we taking your season. Biatch. And they are headed back to the AFC Championship game for the second straight year, setting up a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game between them and the Kansas City Chiefs. But this score was 27-10. And to be honest with you, if you watch the game, it wasn't even that close. It really was not even that close. The Cincinnati Bengals, they dogged the Buffalo Bills. They ran the ball right down their throat with Mixon and Perine and even Joe Burrow when he needed to. Burrow was accurate. It's like the weather, the snow didn't even bother him. He was accurate. He was efficient. He had a couple of touchdown passes. He had one to Hayden Hurst, had one to Jamar Chase. Chase had caught another one, but they took that one off the board. I don't know why, but it didn't make a difference. Joe Mixon ran for over 100 yards. The Cincinnati Bengals, see, this is the first time in this playoff run or in the Joe Burrow era that they actually thumped somebody. All the games that they won last year getting to the Super Bowl, which a lot of people thought was a fluke, which I said that them boys was here to stay. They thought that was a fluke, but all of their wins were close. Overtime, last-second field goals. Even last week, you had Baltimore with a Hail Mary attempt that damn near got caught. Today, they actually thumped somebody. Yesterday, they thumped somebody. That was a message that was sent to the rest of the NFL saying, we are here. We're not going nowhere. Last year was not a fluke. The Bengals have now won 10 straight games, regular season and postseason. Joe Mixon said this about a month ago, or maybe about 3 weeks ago. He said, we're the big dogs of the AFC. And that's what happens when you crown somebody too fast. Goodness gracious, you selling tickets in Atlanta because you're assuming that it's going to be Buffalo versus Kansas City? All year, that's all we heard about. Buffalo, Kansas City, Buffalo, Kansas City, Buffalo, Kansas City. After the Bills and the Chiefs played, they're saying, the Bills need to do what they got to do to make sure that game is played in Orchard Park. Who said you were going to get there? Who said you were going to get there? Not the Cincinnati Bengals didn't. Joe Mixon said, we the beasts of the AFC. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who was in the Super Bowl last year from the AFC? Wasn't the Chiefs. Wasn't the Bills. Wasn't the Titans. Wasn't the Ravens. No, it was the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. I have said this for the last 2 seasons now. The best collection of skill position players in the NFL. They got some competition because the teams that maybe just as good as them, they're still playing. Which leads me to the next game, the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Ever since, for the last 2.5 months, since October, I said the NFC Championship game was going to be in Lincoln Financial Field between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. And guess what? Call me a prophet, biatch! Did you actually think for a second that the Dallas Cowboys were going to get to the NFC Championship game? You thought, really? The Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. You actually thought that they were actually going to get to the NFC Championship game? Oh, my goodness. Man, look. I got to tell you something, man. The San Francisco 49ers defeated the Dallas Cowboys 19-12 in a very defensive-minded game. Now, look, I'm going to give credit where credit was due. That Dallas defense, they came to play. They really came to play, and eventually got worn down, because when the 49ers finally scored their one lone touchdown of the game, it was because they were starting to wear Dallas's defense down with the running, and then George Kittle, who was spectacular. But Dallas's defense fought them tooth and nail. They were trying to win despite Dak Prescott's horrible play at the quarterback position. The Cowboys defense fought. But you know what? I don't care.
You niggas are crazy!
Because at the end of the day, I told y'all. And I got on Facebook Live. Yes, I did. I got on Facebook Live and I said, you know what? I haven't said nothing about the Cowboys all year long. I've been quiet the entire season. And yesterday was y'all day of reckoning. Oh my goodness. Because this is, again, what gets on my nerves. Now, again, I said I wasn't lying when I said that I was borderline enjoy. Matter of fact, I'll take it to say I was enjoying Dallas beating the hell out of Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I'm sick of Brady. And what did I say? It's not like I was lying. I said whoever wins that game, season is going to end in San Francisco. Now, I thought, because the 49ers been blowing everybody out. This was a game that young Brock Purdy needed. That sometimes you have to grind through games, so especially playoff games. Sometimes it's going to be like that. This was a game where Dak Prescott was supposed to elevate himself over Mr. Irrelevant, and he did not do it. Everybody was riding Dak's coattail, just all on his nuts after the way he played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But please let me tell you something, Cowboy fans and football fans. This is what gets on my nerves about Cowboys fans and all those reporters and all those TV shows that cover them and bloviate about them unnecessarily for a team that hasn't won shit in 27 years and counting. What has Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys been very good at, particularly over the last 3 or 4 football seasons? They beat the shit out of bad teams. They will throw up a 50 burger on a 2-10 team, and everybody will make them think that they are the greatest thing since sliced bread. What was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a bad football team. The only team in the playoffs with a losing record. They had been bad all year. Joe Public wanted to give Tom Brady the benefit of the doubt, including myself, thinking that they would do something different because of the playoffs. But you know what? You can't change who you were through the course of one game. You can't change a full season in the course of one game. And what the Dallas Cowboys did is what the Cowboys do. They beat up on bad teams. As soon as you take a step up in competition, you bitches get beat.
Bye, bitch.
And it gets proven year after year after year after year. And people call me a Cowboys troll, a Cowboys hater. Okay, I don't care. I'll take that. I mean, real talk. And, I have a chain text chat with all of my guys from the Prediction League, which, by the way, this past week, divisional week in football, I was perfect. I did not miss any games. David was also perfect. I believe we were the only 2 that didn't get any wrong. I have to check the books. I'm not sure. But I got the chain text line, and I started sending out, and I wasn't the only one. I was, responding, but sending out some text messages. All of my guys who are in the league again, and this is to my boy Marcus, my bro. When I tell you in all seriousness, that's my big little bro. I don't speak as highly about a person as I do about Marcus. That's my guy. He is a Cowboys fan, and boy, did his emotions get him in them text messages yesterday. As soon as he said, as soon as I saw the response, those text messages came back to back to back. And, Marcus done known me long enough where you can go at me about my Denver Broncos and what my team did or did not do this season. I don't care. That stuff doesn't bother me. That stuff doesn't bother me because my disappointment in my team's football season has come and gone. Yours was right there, like a fresh bowl of shit, because that's what Dak Prescott played like yesterday, a fresh bowl of shit. The Dallas Cowboys are not advancing to the NFC Championship game, predictably, because their quarterback played like a fresh bowl of shit. You can say what you want to say about my Denver Broncos. I said the same things you were saying about my Denver Broncos. but I'm a football fan, and I'm paying attention. My attention and my energy were on the games at hand. Yes, I don't like Dallas. I fucking hate Dallas. So, but I held my tongue all year. And like I said, yesterday was their day of reckoning. Sean is funny as a bitch. Sean said, Brandon about to lose a friend. Nah, now me and Marcus brothers, man. But me and Marcus brothers. But they know when it comes to them Cowboys, I am coming for them. Because you hear all of this rah, rah, rah about a team that ain't done shit in damn near 30 years. But the last time the Cowboys were worth anything outside of a fucking garbage can, I guarantee you they were still a black and white TV in everybody's grandmama house.
God damn!
I am so serious. But what made me laugh the most was that last play of the game. What the hell was that? The level, so, and I'm pretty sure everybody who's listening to this has seen it. You got Ezekiel Elliott playing the center position. Oh, you got 8 receivers, which included offensive linemen to the right. You had 8 wide receivers, which included offensive linemen to the left. And then you got Dak Prescott standing behind Ezekiel Elliott, who was deemed as an ineligible receiver. But of course, if you lateral the ball, then, he could do whatever. Fair enough. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I've never seen a formation like this before. I started thinking, this looks like the PKR shit we used to do when we used to play football in the backyards back when I was a kid. So I was like, this might be something. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. We might get a couple of laterals that may possibly get even interesting. Dak Prescott threw one pass to Turpin, and bow, he got hit, and that was it. I'm like, that was worse than last year when the time ran out on them. And speaking of clock management, how the hell does it take you 35 seconds to punt if you're Mike McCarthy? Oh my gosh. Nobody knows how to end the season in more comedic fashion than the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you motherfuckers never let me down, because that was just pure comedy. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm serious. I was just saying, what in the hell was that? Like, they even give themselves a chance. Oh my goodness gracious. So, that is how we have gotten to Championship Sunday. On this coming up Sunday, the NFC Championship game, which will be the first game played at 3 o'clock, will be, as I predicted, the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the San Francisco 49ers, and the AFC Championship game, which will be at 6:30, will be a rematch of last year, the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? Oh boy, we are just one weekend away from having a Super Bowl matchup. And to all you butthurt ass Cowboy fans, sit on a block of ice, shut the fuck up, and think about the 3 words that has solidified your reign of football over the last 27 years. Maybe next year. Bitch!
You niggas are crazy!
Well, you knew the calls were coming. And first up, I got Cudden David. If Sean chimes in, we will definitely 3-way him up. But what up, D?
Nice shit, bro. What's good?
What's good is we got Championship Sunday set up, bruh.
Oh, okay.
We got
Cool, on guy.
we got
And all
championships,
that.
and you know what team it does not include?
Who's that?
Those Dallas Cowboys you love so much.
Oh, man. Hey, well, that's definitely good news, bro. Definitely good news.
The 49ers took them out. They took care of business.
That's what it does. Well, sorry for all the Cowboy fans out there. Not really, but hey.
I mean, what can you
Win
say?
some, lose some.
Look, man, I just told the Dallas Cowboys, to the butthurt Cowboy fans, sit on a block of ice, shut the fuck up, and think about these 3 words that y'all have been saying for the last 27 and counting. Maybe next year. They suck.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
I don't know if you saw the chain of text messages that was sent last night, but it was.
When I'm at work, my shit on Do Not Disturb. I got.
Oh, well, I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you for that. But yeah, it was a little real up in there because Marcus's feelings. Marcus kind of little guy that got in his feelings, and that's big little bro. But y'all know me with them Cowboy fans. I know them buttons to push.
Damn Cowboys, man. That'll be all right. It's next year. You might not have the same coach. You might not even have the same quarterback while you bullshitting.
Oh no, they gonna have the same quarterback. They paying that motherfucker too much money.
Fair enough.
But in some other news, did you see the New York Giants got absolutely crushed by the Philadelphia Eagles?
Knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, 38-7. The Eagles took care of business. I mean, they took care of business.
God damn.
Yeah. Oh, bro, the game was over with after the first quarter, bro. It was 14. Actually, the game was over at halftime as well. It was 28-0 at halftime.
Ooh. So, Giants showed their true colors, huh?
Well, if I'm a Giants fan, I'm actually happy because, they didn't. I'm sure the Giants didn't expect Giants fans, I don't think, expected the Giants to get as far as they did this season. I mean, they first time winning a playoff game in 11 years, getting to the second round. Now, you got questions about what you're going to do in the offseason, what you're going to do with Daniel Jones, what you're going to do with Saquon Barkley, but you need to get a top flight wide receiver. But the NFC Championship game is as I predicted, Cuzzo, the Eagles and the 49ers.
I'm rich, bitch.
49ers. That should be a hell of a game.
Don't you think? Oh, what do you think is going to happen in that championship game?
These nuts.
It's definitely going to be back and forth football. It's not going to be no one-sided ass whooping like it's been both ways when it comes to both them teams. Hell of a battle for that one. I'm going to say on that.
Oh, yeah, trucks. You got to have trucks.
I don't know. Still. Eagles or 49ers,
Tough, right? So evenly matched, right?
Yeah, they still pretty evenly matched. I don't know. I'm going to watch it. Fuck it. Fuck, damn the dumb shit. I'm going to watch it.
And, before this week, I was saying, damn, man, the 49ers are killing everybody. To the Dallas Cowboys' credit, their defense showed up. Their defense did show up and play. Like, Debo really wasn't a factor in the game. McCaffrey, not until the drive the 49ers scored their only touchdown on, was a factor. That Eagles defense, man, that front four, them I know, the 49ers with Bosa and Armstead and Warner and Greenlaw, I know that they not to be trifled with, but that damn Eagles D-line, man. Hassan Reddick and Jordan Davis and Sweat, and you got Ndamukong Suh coming off the bench. I mean, he's not even a starter. I mean, they just lit it up. It's such an even matchup. I cannot wait to see that one. I really can't. That is going to be an awesome game.
Same. Be a hell of a one to watch, man. One for the books.
Definitely.
Either way, honestly, looking forward to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, me too, man.
Either way, it'll be a hell of a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, man. Now on the AFC side, it's a rematch of last year. The Chiefs beat Jacksonville. Patrick Mahomes did get hurt though. He has a high ankle sprain. That's gonna be interesting.
I saw a clip today about his little mishap.
Yeah, man. I saw. It was an ugly injury.
Mm-hmm.
It was an ugly injury.
Well, I can't really say there's no pretty injuries in football, bro.
Up. Hold on. Let me. Hold on. I'm about to chime in, Sean. Hold on.
All right.
Reality podcast, folk. What up, broski? What up, broski?
Hey, let me get your tissue. Hey, what's up, man?
This phone call was coming.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I was today. You could hear I was out there with the kids.
Well, look, hang up, and I'm gonna call you right back on three-way. I got David on the other line.
All right. Give me a second.
All right. Yo, D.
You?
Yeah, I'm giving him a second to hang up because I told him we're gonna call him on three-way. I said, oh, you knew this phone call was coming. But AFC Championship game, Kansas City versus Cincinnati. The Chiefs beat the Jags. The Bengals beat the shit out of Buffalo in Buffalo. That game wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close, huh?
Nah, man, them Bengals is for real. But hold on, let me chime Sean in. Let's see. Reality podcast. And business picked up. Brother Sean, what it do?
What it do? What's happening, Captain?
Oh, man, we were just talking about the NFC Championship game matchup before you buzzed in between San Fran and Philadelphia. What are your thoughts on this past weekend in football, sir?
The fucking Cowboys got their ass out of here. They suck so bad. Fuck the Cowboys, yeah. No, but I could have sworn they said that their quarterback was better than our quarterback.
Didn't they say that?
Bye, bitch.
I could have sworn that Dak been here. How long?
Oh, Dak been there, what, this 7 years now? 7 years?
But how did has he been to an NFC Championship yet?
Not one, sir. Not one.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure that out. How long has Jalen been at one time?
Oh, this is just Jalen's second year as a starter.
And he had an NFC Championship?
He is going to be playing in an NFC Championship game, sir. How about
Listen to
that?
me. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of him. You know that's all I really wanted. It. My goal for my team, I know how good we are, but my goal for my team was to get to the NFC Championship, and we did that.
And
we did what I wanted to.
dominating fashion, too. Dominating.
And a dominating fashion. We got there. I wanted Jalen to win the game in the playoffs. I wanted Jalen to show that he belongs. Windy as hell out here. I live in the goddamn valley. But yeah, I wanted him to win a playoff game. I wanted him to do it and be like he was the factor in it. Everybody sees him. I wanted for him to be able to taste success going forward because I wanted him to be our quarterback. And I'm so excited for him. I'm happy that we got there in such a dominant fashion. All the little bullshit that we had to hear. Oh, the Giants hard to beat the team 3 times. Yeah, fuck that. We thrashed that ass. We thrashed that ass.
That game was over. I was telling David the game was over with after the first quarter.
I sat there, I tried to keep that patiently calm, like, because, football is football. You could be up by 21 as we've seen this year and come the fuck back and storming the fashion. It's nothing. This football league is all about offense. You can score at any second, but, I mean, beat the shit out them boys. That shit was beautiful to me, bro. I was like music to my ears. But as far as the 49ers Cowboys game, man, I'm not even gonna lie. I give it hats off to the Cowboys defense, man. They did their thing.
Yeah,
they definitely did their thing. I mean, them boys are straight. And like I said, it really comes down to the playoffs as your quarterback play. And Dak is inconsistent. And I told you that motherfucker was excited because how he did Tom Brady and that sorry ass Tampa Bay defense, which won't shit, got everybody hyped.
Yep.
I told you he wasn't gonna be able to do that shit on the motherfucking 49ers,
nope.
Which he wasn't able to do so. And them boys flying around like that's gonna be a tough game too, boy. I can't wait though. But what I wanted to see from that game, I saw what I wanted to see because we play a similar bruiser style defense like the Cowboys do, but we have better players.
Yep.
And Purdy, when them boys was getting to Purdy was looking like an average player, like a Mr. Irrelevant. Hats off, he still ain't do no turnovers like that.
That's all. All Purdy did was drive the bus.
Yeah. All he did was ride the bus. He didn't look all extra like he was, and we gonna get to that, boy. And it's gonna be a tough game. I just hope that we are able to do what our defense did to their offense. And just let our offense is way better than the Cowboys. Our quarterback, better than the Cowboys. He's smarter. He's more athletic. I don't care about nobody say. And the boy got total control over his team. So I'm excited for the NFC Championship. But he did what I wanted him to do this year. Anything else for me right now is a plus. But I want us to get to that bowl. But anything else for me is a plus. and I'm excited going forward.
Hey, bro, did it get real with them text messages last night?
Yeah, boy, I was saying, well, you about to lose some friends, but you know those boys get a little salty when they team lose all that.
Bro, I was trying to tell David, bro, it got real last night, man.
They were mad at you. See, I just sit there and laugh. Like, I could be real. Look, I try to find them on Facebook so bad. But don't nobody, every Cowboys fan ain't even said anything. Well, I just go put a little smiley face and some shit there. Like, you know, I like to do a little salt on everybody. I fucking hate the Cowboys. I'm glad they cut that L.
Man, look, I said, man, look, Marcus done known me long enough, man. You know, he could say anything he want to about me in Denver, about my team. I get, okay, fine, because I've already said it about my team. But, bro, I'm a football fan. My energy was at the games that were at hand. I said, my disappointment in the Broncos has come and gone. I said, y'all disappointment is fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
And I know, and listen, I know I got you when you bring up the rings. We still got more rings than y'all. Bro, I was in here crying, laughing.
Oh, you got to hear now. That's
right.
Bro, them wings dusty as hell. Them shits ain't even, them shits so old, bro. I don't even know what to do, bro.
Bro, I said, man, the last time the Cowboys was relevant, was worth anything outside of a garbage can, there was a black and white TV in everybody's grandmama house.
Motherfuckers had that big ass click TV. Like, you gotta be clear shit to turn them knobs on them joints.
Yeah, you had to turn.
Put the antennas up or that bitch. Fix that damn antenna.
Bro, you had to turn the knobs on the TV, and everybody had that house phone hanging in hanging on their kitchen wall.
With that cord and shit.
With that long ass curly cord.
Nigga, AOL was out. They would dial up, man. Fucking Super Tecmo Bowl and shit. Old ass goddamn ring.
You know what I'm saying? They won't eat, bro. They won't even what? PlayStation 1 had just came out.
Man, come on now. Cowboys ain't been relevant in so long, and it's so exciting.
I mean, so when Marcus sent me that message and said we still got more rings, I was like, I got you.
Listen to me. Nothing would make me more excited than to win another fresh Super Bowl since 2017 again on them Cowboys fans.
And you know what the Cowboys gonna say? Well, y'all only got 2. We got 5.
Yeah, in this decade, man, like what the fuck? Like,
Cowboys got black and white Super Bowls.
Your Super Bowls got them Polaroid Super Bowls. Got to take the picture out, fan that bit. Hold on, player. They got to develop.
Like, there was only one ESPN channel the last time Dallas won the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, dog.
Bill Clinton was in his first term of president.
God, this shit is juicy, bro. I ain't seen my neighbors either, bro.
Better go knock
all these motherfucking Cowboy fans right here. I'm just checking on you, Flip.
What'd you say, David?
It's about knocking on checking them motherfuckers. They might hung themselves in a Dallas Cowboy.
Bro, I spend my days just on YouTube, just going through all the reactions of their fans. I just love to soak up their tears, their pain.
Hey, oh yeah.
So happy.
Oh yeah. Now I will say this on a serious note. I hope Tony Pollard gets better. Don't want like to see stuff like that.
He laughed. Why did you write? Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, Tony Pollard broke his leg. You hate seeing that. Ezekiel Elliott's gonna get cut. I promise you that.
Oh, absolutely. The boy ain't even kidding.
He can get cut.
Oh, Big Z getting cut, bro.
Bro, you the highest paid running back in the league, and you not worth a damn.
What, he got like 26 yards or some shit like that?
Bro, he's the only Mr. Irrelevant in that game was Ezekiel Elliott. But hold up, please tell me what you thought of that last play, bro.
Why did she act like that? Was that one of her friends or somebody from school? She hid from. She didn't want nobody to see where she lived at or something.
David, you had to see that last play, bro. It was so. The last play that the Cowboys ran at the end of the game was horrible.
What the hell happened?
It was horrible.
Julia Mayo.
They okay, so Dallas was on their own like 20-yard line, something like that. So it was only 5 seconds left. So you have to go around. That's when you have to try to complete a pass and then start lateraling the ball all over the place, hoping you find an opening. You basically need a miracle play. So the way Dallas had their players lined up, I had never seen this type of formation before. Ezekiel Elliott was the center. He was the one who snapped the ball. To the right of Dak was 8 receivers, which included 2 offensive linemen. To the left of Dak was 8 receivers, which included 2 offensive linemen. So I'm thinking, okay, this about to be some shit. This about to be some shit. Okay, they're about to do some crazy shit. Dak threw the ball to 1 receiver, and the 49er dude came up and blasted his ass, and that was the game.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that shit, to me, that shit was worse than last year when the clock ran out.
You suck.
Bro, I don't know. What did you learn? Well, I mean, they did. I mean, it was the build-up for me, and then the one pass, and then he got smacked. Not even that. Not even that. If you look at Ezekiel Elliott, he got blew up on the pass.
Yes, he did.
Bro, I'm like, so what was the point of that? I mean, because he blew him up. Dak have to throw, which made Dak have to throw that even quicker. I mean, was it a screenplay or was he supposed to go further down the field? Like, I don't even know what the fuck that shit was. It was horrible, bro.
Bro, you know, remember when we used to play football out in the backyard or go to the Bulldog, and when it's 4th down and you got to score a touchdown, we run PKR?
Yeah.
That's what the shit reminded me of, bro. I mean, that was because what they had linemen lined up with the receiver, so obviously you're going to try to complete the ball to 1 receiver, and your offensive lineman step in and block, and you start lateraling it. But like you said, Zeke got blown up.
It should have been a quick screen pass. Like that was like a medium pass. Like if you got your lineman out there, like you throw a quick screen to either side and you let it run. Like you do that, or if that's what you're gonna do. But I mean, like he like they thought like Zeke was gonna block this dude. Like and he got blown up.
David, when I tell you, the linebacker ran right through Zeke, like he wasn't even there.
Yeah. That looked like the Cowboys season right there. That was the play that summed up the Cowboys season right there. A hot mess. That's what the hell it was. They played good enough to fool people into thinking they was going to do something, and they did the same shit that the Cowboys do every time. They cowboy it. All the way at the end. It's always the same fucking thing. And it's going to be the same thing next year. And it's going to be... And until they find them a competent quarterback, because it's like Dak is the black Tony Romo, bro. He just throw interceptions now, bro. When you think he's good enough to make you feel like he's going to do something, but then all of a sudden, here come them picks. That's going to fuck you up. And Tony Romo was the same fucking way.
Man, bro, like Dallas does what they do. They beat up on bad teams. They will beat the shit out of a bad team, and they'll look like the greatest thing since sliced bread. But once they take a step up in competition, it's a wrap.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
But let's and David, listen. I'm sending you that final play. I just text you the link to that final play so you can see the shit for yourself.
Man, enjoy it.
I'm serious. Enjoy it, bro.
Make sure you look at Zeke when he snapped the ball first too. Make sure you take that in first. Yeah.
Bro, I told you Zeke was the center. I just sent it to you. Zeke was the center.
Oh Lord. Man. Yeah, what a joyous play.
So many questions.
What a joyous play. It just brings joy to my. Do you think they're going to keep Mike McCarthy? I mean,
yes, I think they are because they won a game.
I mean, because they won in the jump. Yeah, so you can't really get rid of it because it's like he went further than he did last year. Because didn't they lose on the first one, or did they?
Yeah, it was the first. They lost in wild card weekend last year.
Yeah, so I mean, they took a step. So I mean, you can't fire somebody who's taking a step.
And I'm gonna tell you what. Let me make this point. You know, everybody's saying Sean Payton. You know, Sean Payton may sound like the better name, but to be honest with you, if you look at Sean Payton's resume and Mike McCarthy's resume, it's the same damn thing. As a matter of fact, Mike McCarthy might have a better resume because he's been in more conference championship games than Sean Payton. Both of them have won Super Bowl. Both of them needed a Hall of Fame quarterback to do it.
Man, and that's why motherfucking Sean Payton ran his ass away from the fucking Saints when Drew Brees was gone.
Yep.
Because he didn't want to taint his legacy.
Yep.
Because he couldn't do it with average motherfuckers. So
nope.
Why not get out, go to the broadcaster, and try to bring yourself back in a situation that will still make you look like you're a good coach?
Well, I mean, honestly, I hope we hire him. To tell you the truth.
I mean, he could do something with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he could do something with Russell Wilson. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But all this talk, they need to bring in Sean Payton to replace Mike McCarthy. I'm like, really? No, you don't. You really don't. And Sean Payton's not going to go to Dallas anyway because Sean Payton is going to want to have some type of control. We know Jerry ain't giving that up. Jerry Jones is not giving that up.
Jerry wanted to call Dak fuck boy so bad.
Hey, Jerry's the one who drew up that last play.
No, he did.
Hey, David, go look at that play, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Jerry was on them cameras like, yeah, I'm so disappointed in this fuck boy. I mean.
Well, let's switch to the AFC.
Man,
the Cincinnati Bengals made the statement to me of the weekend.
Let me tell you something. Josh Allen is, I think he tries to play too much into his emotions, and that shit backfires on him all the time. He be trying to get in people's face and start shit and all that shit. Man, play football, bro.
Man, everything was working out for Buffalo. You had DeMar Hamlin was at the game. You had the weather conditions, snowy field. Bro, that shit didn't bother Cincinnati. Not one bit. I mean, they thumped Buffalo. Like, that game wasn't even, like, the score was 27-10, but it felt more like, y'all score against the Giants. Like, Buffalo never really had a chance. I mean, you had Joe Mixon running for over 100 yards. They were averaging 6 yards on first down. They were never playing from behind the sticks. Chase was lighting them up. Their tight end Hayden Hurst. I'm going to tell you something, bro. Cincinnati's going back to the Super Bowl because now they're going to Arrowhead Stadium. They've beaten the Chiefs 3 straight times. They beat them last year in the AFC Championship game. And Patrick Mahomes is hurt. Did you see that injury?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You got to, not only do they have their number already, now you have an injured Patrick Mahomes on top of that. It's going to be a tough game for the Chiefs. Their defense really is going to have to step up. And Pat, I don't know what they're going to do with Pat. Pat ain't going to want to get out there, but if he's hurting them more than he's helping them, they may have to lean on Chad Henne because that was an ugly injury, and now that's
it was
a week to heal, bro. Especially with the type. I mean, if anybody can throw weird passes, it's him. But I mean, you still got to be able to run around on the bench.
Exactly.
And that you're gonna hurt them more than that. You help them once they start making you go the whole game. Because if I was the Bengals, I'm coming at you every game, getting you out of your spot, making you
absolutely
the whole game. So
absolutely,
they going, yeah,
absolutely. I think I said this for the last ever since that Monday night game where Hamlin got hurt. I said I think the Bengals should have an attitude with the league for one. I mean, okay, if you're not gonna finish the game, at least make it fair to where. But that game should have easily been in Cincinnati. Could have easily been in Cincinnati. But that gives you more motivation. Say, you know what? We're going to roll into their house and we're going to beat their ass anyway. They had already started selling tickets for the neutral site AFC Championship game because if Buffalo had won, they would have played Kansas City and Atlanta. That's where the neutral site would have been. They had already started selling tickets, assuming that Buffalo was going to beat Cincinnati.
I live in the canyon, boy. What the hell was that?
Oh, you just saw the play?
Hey, yeah.
He got dropped.
He got ran over so smooth, bro. Like Zeke looked like a linebacker. He's so slow, bro. Once Tony Pollard went out, I knew it was a wrap because Zeke he's not a workhorse back no more. He's out of shape. He looks like he's out of shape over there, like Leonard Fournette used to be. Like they just be running and just be tired every time they finish a one play, bro. So it's like I really don't think Zeke gonna be there next year.
No, I think he's making too much money. He's the highest paid running back in the league, and you're not even your backup running back went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't take a serious pay cut, I think he's gonna get outright cut.
Oh, he's going to take a pay. He better take a pay cut, but ain't nobody else gonna pay him like that.
No, nobody's gonna pay him like that.
He can take his money and he can take his money. Yeah.
Did you see how Zeke got trucked, D?
Yeah, bro. Goddamn. He needs to go in the bathroom and cry after that.
That
he
shit is
got laid
hilarious,
out like
bro.
a baby real quick. Like, that was
That's
terrible.
hilarious, bro. But we all see them birds, you know, baby. Hey.
Well, look, I'm going to say this. As far as the predictions went, David, you and me did not get any wrong. Sean, the only one that you got wrong was picking Buffalo over Cincinnati. But now let's talk about, I'm going to ask you guys who you think is going to win each game. And, you know, I'll explain why. Because the first game on Championship Sunday is going to be Philadelphia and San Francisco. Sean, I know who you're going to pick. Tell me why.
As I explained to you when we first started, we play a similar defense to the Cowboys, but we have better players. And I believe that our pressure it'll be the same as far as seeing that you can stop their playmakers. Christian McCaffrey as well. It looked like he's nursing that calf. You know how?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you see how he's a little soft to injury too. So if we can get him, if we can stop their playmakers on offense, which I think we have enough defensive weapons.
Yeah, because Debo wasn't a factor yesterday.
Debo wasn't a factor yesterday. Brandon Ayuk really wasn't a factor. The only person that really got off was Kittle.
Yeah.
And I believe that we have C.J. Gardner-Johnson that's going to be there. And I don't even know if Avonte Madden's going to be back or not with that toe injury. If we get him back, it's really going to be good because he's like one of the top slot corners when he's in there. Then we could put Gardner-Johnson over top of them. I believe we have enough weapons to stop their offense. And then I believe our offense is good enough to be able to score more points than the Cowboys did against them. And I still believe it's going to be a dogfight. But I think we have enough weapons and our defense is better that we'll be able to go ahead and get it done.
David, who's going to win, the Eagles or the 49ers?
It's going to be a hell of an exciting game. I know that much. As far as who's going to win, I'm going to reach into my mystery bag of tricks. And by my mystery bag of tricks, I mean what's left in his beer can. All righty. Well, by that saying that, I'm going to be saying... I'm going to say Philly. I got a strong feeling on that one. And by strong feeling, I mean I'm out of beer. This dude is a nut, bro.
You better go take your ass to the store.
I need to take my ass down the seats.
Okay, so you going with the Eagles as well. All right, AFC champ. Of course, I'm picking Philadelphia as well. I think this game is going to be a good game. This is going to be a great game. You know, both teams, the Eagles and the 49ers, won the game yesterday. Well, first of all, the Eagles just simply outclassed the Giants. But I'm talking about as far as their quarterback play goes, both quarterbacks they rode the bus. They didn't make turnovers. You know, Jalen's a more effective runner than Brock Purdy, but we needed to see him run to make sure. You could tell that shoulder is still bothering him a little bit, but there's enough playmakers around him to where he doesn't have to do too much. He doesn't try to have to be like Josh Allen and always put the Superman cape on. He, you know, and Brock Purdy did the same thing. It's not the plays that Brock Purdy made. It's the fact that he didn't do what Dak did, which was fuck it up. But I think I'm going with Philly. I think actually watching that 49ers-Cowboys game yesterday made me further think. I was like, oh, you know what? Philly going to beat them. Because of the way Dallas was able to keep Debo in line and the way that they were able to keep Ayuk and McCaffrey in line. And Philadelphia's defense is better. Dallas, everybody goes off about Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. Hassan Reddick is a dog. He is a motherfucking dog. And it's going to be exciting because you're going to have Reddick on one side, you're going to have Bosa on the other side. But I'm going with Bird Gang. But AFC Championship game, Bengals at Chiefs. Sean, who you got and why?
I'm going to say the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bengals only because I still think that the Bengals, just looking at the record between them two, the Bengals got their number. And then, like I said, you have a hobbled Patrick Mahomes going into that game. And I think that's going to be enough to go ahead and have the Bengals do what they do and get it done.
Dave, what'd you say?
Yeah, same.
You going with the Bengals too?
Yeah, the Bengals definitely got Kansas City's number. And with Patrick Mahomes being as beat up as he is, he's not even 100%. He's barely even 60.
I would say he's barely even 50%.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes being in the shape that he is, he ain't got nothing for Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow is playing with a lot of heart right now.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Joe Burrow. My uncle texted me yesterday and said Burrow is the next Brady. I said no, I think Burrow is the next Montana because he's more mobile.
He's mobile. Yeah, that's what separates him from Brady.
Yeah, he's more mobile, and he's very accurate with his throws. Yeah, I'm picking Cincinnati to win too, and I'm gonna tell you why. Aside from the fact that Mahomes is banged up, Cincinnati's better than Kansas City. I said this yesterday after the game was over. I said, man, I guarantee you, Kansas City would have rather seen Buffalo at a neutral site game than to see Cincinnati walk back into Arrowhead Stadium for a championship game. They don't. Cincinnati does something that Buffalo does not do. They can run the ball. I don't care if Patrick Mahomes was 100%. When they get that offense, the Bengals can play keep away. And the thing with them, when they play keep away, they're not going down and kicking field goals. They're playing keep away, but they scoring touchdowns. 7-8 minute drives, first down after first down after first down after first down. Mixon, P. Ryan. No, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself with this Super Bowl because, I ride hard with the Philadelphia Eagles. The two teams that I root for the most outside of my beloved Broncos are the Eagles 1, the Bengals 2. God damn, and I think that's going to be the Super Bowl. It's going to be Philadelphia versus Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. So that should be fun.
Choose who you feel, sir. Because you know, I don't care either way because I'm riding.
Well, I said this yesterday because I've just filed my taxes, and taxes usually come around the time that the Super Bowl is going to be. I said, Lord, I said if I get my tax return back and regular paycheck, I said I may fuck around and go get a Jalen Hurts jersey when the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So
it's Hurts season.
Oh my goodness. So yes, that is going to be. But you know what? So we all agree. Eagles and Bengals.
Eagles and Bengals.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds great to me.
Oh my goodness. Eagles and Bengals. They did an interview on ESPN. I didn't see the full thing. It was they were interviewing all of the past black Eagles quarterback. They had McNabb, Vic, Jalen Hurts, but RG3 was giving the interview. I thought that was funny. You get a Redskin.
Yeah, that's racist. That's racist. Right there. Right there off the bat. RG3 should have said too.
So let's talk about the losing teams. Where should they go? Jacksonville. Do you agree that you should look at this as that you're headed in the right direction?
That's cold out here. Jacksonville, yeah, they are heading in the right direction. A couple of pieces here and there. Jacksonville shocked the shit out of me, honestly.
Yeah,
they did. They did to me.
I was thinking, Jacksonville? Who the fuck is Jacksonville? They still got a team? Are they still in Florida? Who the fuck are these niggas?
Quiet as is kept next year. You know who they're getting? You know what weapon Jacksonville is going to be getting next year because he's going to be coming off a suspension? Calvin Ridley.
Oh, they are getting him. Don't they got him?
They got him already. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be tough.
Because Christian Kirk proved that he was worth the contract. And now you're going to
they're going to have Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley?
With Evan Ingram, with Zay Jones, and Marvin Jones.
I already seen they going to be. And then they got Dougie P. And then whatever they choose to pick this year and get in free agency.
And their defense is young, fast, and hungry.
Hell yeah.
They might be a team to watch out.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville is going to have that division on lock for the next 10 years. Because Trevor Lawrence ain't going to do nothing but get better. Okay, so
if you can't,
next losing team, the Buffalo Bills. If you Buffalo, because Buffalo, everybody had Buffalo going to the Super Bowl this year.
Get it to the side.
Everybody had Buffalo going to the Super Bowl this year. So what do you do now if you're the Buffalo Bills?
Buffalo's fine.
Yeah, just like that. That was a good one.
You said what, D?
Buffalo's fine. Buffalo's in the right space. They're going to own the division.
Oh, shit. Good hit.
You think it's that simple?
I mean, they're gonna get what they need. Obviously, Josh Allen, obviously. But they're going to get some things, obviously. But I think Josh Allen's fine. He snuck up on me, obviously. I think there's a couple of pieces of his game that he's missing. But other than that, I see Buffalo dominating that division. New England ain't really got shit for it.
Well, okay, New England, yes, okay. But, the Jets are, if the Jets get a different quarterback, they could have something to say. If Tua can stop getting concussions every time somebody breathes on him, they would be okay.
Nope. You want to keep it? No. They need to part ways with Tua. Like we've been saying.
It helps you control it.
Leave the man be. Let him go on about his life. Don't do it.
But do you think that's what Tua wants to do?
I mean, I understand he's got the heart of a lion and the whole nine, but let that man go on with his life while he still has one. The NFL. The NFL want that man dead. There's a contract out with that for that man for something serious.
All right, well, Sean, what do you think the Buffalo Bills should do going forward? Because this was supposed to be their year.
Limit the turnovers, and I think that goes with coaching now because you have to remember they had Brian Daboll, who now with the Giants, and Danny Dimes.
That's a good point.
Danny Dimes straight up limited his turnovers, and now Josh Allen's with us. So that's coaching. You still need to get coaching. You have the talent. The talent is never the problem. You got a good secondary, a great secondary with Tre'Davious White and Poyer and all them boys, that continuity they have. You did lose Von Miller, but you still got a good defensive line. You got good linebackers. You need for your better coaching and good volley. You need better coaching and a running back.
That's why I was going with that. Yeah, I think defense, I think they'll be fine because when you get Von Miller back and when you get Micah Hyde back, assuming that they stay healthy, I think the defense will be fine. You got to get a running back. You have to have a running game.
You have to get it out of Josh Allen's hands as much.
Yeah, you got to get a running game.
You got to have a running game.
And you may have to get a more consistent second wide receiver because we all thought coming in this year that Gabe Davis was going to take that leap up, and he didn't. He was very inconsistent. But I think you have to get a running back. Yeah. Okay, so New York Giants. What do the New York Giants need to do going forward?
They definitely need wide receivers and a more consistent offensive line. Saquon stayed healthy, which was good for them. Danny Dimes showed that he can not turn the ball over, and he can use his athletic ability. You need to give him people to throw to, and a line, and continue to build upon your defense, which they play pretty good as well.
They play pretty good.
You need playmakers on that offensive side of the ball, besides Saquon.
Well, David, what do you think the Giants need to do?
Go somewhere and die.
Anything else?
That's it.
Now, another thing.
No, that's it. After you do that, that's
too hot to your face.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, now, David, I'm going to start with you. What do the Dallas Cowboys need going forward?
That's a pop it.
Also go somewhere and die.
You said what?
They can take the same bus that the New York Giants, Giants take, and drive that son of a bitch off the cliff, stone cold style.
All right, Sean, what do the Cowboys need to do going forward?
Burn a whole franchise to the ground. The Cowboys need to do what they can't do.
Well,
Cowboys need to do what they won't be able to do.
Oh, get rid of Jerry Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Because they need a GM who can actually pick. I mean, they got a good defense, but I ain't gonna say that because the Cowboys got a good team. It's just like they need a better quarterback.
We've been saying this about the Cowboys for the last 15 years. Jerry Jones is a problem. Jerry Jones is a problem. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. But we've seen average quarterbacks win Super Bowls.
They They got stuck in a problem where they had to pay Dak, and the bad contract was Zeke for them.
Well, yeah, but they created that situation with Dak because they could have paid him. They could have paid him when the Eagles paid Wentz. So when the Rams paid Goff, they could have just like the same problem that the Baltimore Ravens are going to have. They could have paid Lamar Jackson.
But then that's what goes back to what we said at the beginning. Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
like he got to make better decisions on players and on contracts.
Well, I'm more in agreement with what David said. Get on the bus and drive that son of a bitch off of a cliff, Stone Cold style.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so well, brothers. So we have our picks: Eagles, Bengals, Super Bowl 57.
You okay, Jackson?
Super Bowl 57. Oh, give Jackson Jaguar a kiss for me.
Yeah, he had him out here wilding. He out here trying to teach his girl how to play volleyball.
Oh, and I'm a wish her early happy birthday too, because I know her birthday is Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, London woke up this morning. London woke up this morning saying it's 2 days till my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I know, right? We'll be there. We coming to the place too, bro.
Y'all coming to Chuck E.
You said
Cheese?
4, right?
Yep.
You said 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah, between 4 and 4:30. So yeah, that's when I'll be there at 4.
The West, right?
Huh?
The West, right?
Yeah. Right off of West Broad Street. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Over there, yeah.
That's awesome. Come on, D. Come on from West Virginia and come on to your little cousin birthday party.
That's like 5 hours, and like the way my schedule is set up, yeah, I'll FaceTime me with that shit.
I'm weak. I will, but that's sweet because I'm gonna make sure I have a present for Jackson too.
All right, good man.
Yeah, I'll make sure I got a present for her
You
too.
may FaceTime me with both of that.
Will do.
Yeah, set that up. And
it's funny that y'all doing it because that's where she wanted to have her jump.
Yeah.
That's why we gonna have a little thing, but we didn't overrun y'all jump unless we went have to. So we just gonna do our little thing here, and then we'll come there and let her play around there.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. So yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I have this Saturday coming up off. So yeah, awesome. Can't wait. And then of course that next day is championship. Hey, bro, what's up? You going to the NFC Championship game?
Man, come on, man. Unless I plan on selling some butt on OnlyFans, I ain't going up there.
What it is? Oh hell yeah!
Not with these egg prices.
Oh shit! How much did you say nosebleed tickets were?
Well, for the game, it was like $800. So I'm pretty sure for this NFC Championship, them jokes probably be.
Well, we better start selling some butt now.
Full pump fresh.
In February.
Full pump fresh.
Like, you're good. You're good. What you doing, man? You're good. Hey, good man, remember me? Ice out. Hey, good man.
Hey, you know what would be dope though is like to go just to go to the link, just to literally to sit in the parking lot.
Oh, you talking about tailgate?
Yeah, man.
You can always tailgate.
Yeah, that would be dope as a bitch too, cause you still getting the atmosphere. I like tailgating personally better than the game.
Oh, tailgate be hella fun, and they always had the TVs on outside anyway.
Yeah.
No, to be honest with you, bro, I like watching more on TV than I do in person. Is that weird?
No, it's not weird because you're more comfortable. You're in a more comfortable environment. I love tailgating too, but you watching it at home, you're in a more comfortable environment.
I'm lying because I lose my voice every time I go to the
I know you do. I know you do.
What's up, buddy? I mean, I like it either way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just even saying true. If I could be there, I'm there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, again, we're gonna have to go to a game next year when Philly is Super Bowl champion.
Oh, bro, next year I'm planning more for it because that's all I do anyway is like football stuff. I'm just gonna go to more. What we gonna? Matter of fact, do it. Gaming game too. Because next year what we gonna try to do is go to games and like try to go to like the restaurants and shit in these certain areas like away games to other people's stadiums.
Oh yeah. That's dope. I mean, well, hell, I mean, shit. I mean, Niggas can hit up the Commander Stadium or Giant Stadium.
Yeah, like the Commanders, and then go to like a little Jonah decent joint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem there. But all right, fellas. Hey man, until next. Well, I'm gonna see you. Well, Sean, I'm gonna see you in a couple days.
Y'all.
Yeah. So D, any parting shots, my guy?
Oh, hell yeah. That was it. Oh, hell yeah.
That was your only parting shot?
Dallas Cowboys need to drive that bus off the some bitch ass clip. Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Stone Cold. Oh, give me hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Well, hell yeah.
What the Brock was cooking.
Hey, that was a good one.
You need to get on that selling. You need to get on that selling.
I ain't talking shit.
That was a good one. Do you smell what the Brock was cooking? That's a good one. You should have put that on Facebook yesterday, bro. That was a good one.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to get it, y'all.
All right, bro.
All right, fellas.
Y'all take it easy.
Yes, sir. Oh man, brother Sean, cousin David, you know that you was gonna get a special helping of those two today, talking about these games, the matchup. So we're all in agreement. Again, I'm going with Philadelphia and Cincinnati to be in the Super Bowl. Gosh, that's gonna be a crazy game to root for. But it has to happen first. But I'm pretty confident that it's gonna be Philly and Cincinnati. And I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to keep it going. And on the phone next is Big Calvin and my man Tony. What it do, fellas?
Yo, what's up?
All right. Tony said I got 15 minutes and then it'll just be me and Calvin. All right, so I have done my Cowboy slander for the day. Tony, the floor is yours. Give me a summary on what you saw yesterday.
Dink and Dunk Dak dropped the ball again. Dink and Dunk Dak. It literally came down to Dink and Dunk Dak. Sometimes it's the bounce, the way the ball bounces, because certainly Trayvon Diggs should not have dropped an interception, and Mr. Turpin should have cut it to the outside, and that's a return for a touchdown. But really, at this point in the season, you got to play mistake-free football, and you can't just give the ball away, particularly when you're in a position to get points. You can't just give it away. And Dak, after every one of these games with these multiple interceptions, these crucial interceptions, you got the same thing. I got to do better. I got to this, that, and the other. Well, clearly it's something.
It's your damn act.
Clearly it's something. And if I'm that organization, I mean, you can jettison his contract in 2024, but I'm actually looking at drafting quarterbacks. Because I honestly, I didn't think that formula ever was going to be a championship level formula anyway. But being as though he was a bus driver, now he got the $40 million, a year. Now he want to be a little bit more ambitious than a bus driver, and it's costing.
Well, I think
Pollard going out early was not a good sign either, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, no, I want to bring that up because you're talking about Dak's contract. Do you think Ezekiel Elliott is still there next year?
I do. I do because one, Zeke is the best blocking back, but it depends on how much money he wants. If he's willing to take that pay cut, then he'll still be there. If he's not willing to take the pay cut and still thinks he's going to be a starting running back somewhere, then no, he won't be there.
Yeah, because honestly, all jokes aside, he's the highest paid running back in the league. He's clearly on the decline. I don't think that has anything to do with his age, the way they like to, make running backs be old by the time they're 26, 27. But I will say this. Y'all defense played. Y'all defense stepped up to play. I throw no shade at the Cowboys defense. I think the one drive where San Francisco scored their only touchdown, it was starting to wear them down just a little bit. But you really, up until that point, you're taking McCaffrey out the game. You took Debo out the game. So I throw no shade at your defense. But yeah, Dak, I think what Dak is trying to do is he's trying to live up to his contract. When only thing, this is why the 49ers won. Brock Purdy didn't do nothing spectacular. He just drove the bus. And Dak, to me, he's trying to live up to that contract. And because what you've done is you've paid a good player great player money. and he's trying to live up to it, and that's not his MO. We've seen average quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson. Well, I think Brad Johnson was above average, but not that much above average. And but I do got to say this: what the hell was that last play?
Well, McCarthy called it. He said it didn't exactly execute the way it was drawn up. So I don't know, but Brian Baldinger, right?
Yes.
He did a full breakdown of that game, and he saw something that I pointed out last night. It was funny because I literally pointed out at the time Dak do one of his picks. I'm like, T.Y. Hilton standing dead in the middle of the field by himself.
Walk-in touchdown.
Anywhere near him.
Walk-in touchdown.
But because Dak's mind progression and making his reads, he's staring down Schultz the whole way. And that should have been a pick six. For real. It didn't turn into a pick six, but it should have been a pick six.
Oh, you talking about with Warner cut in front?
Yeah.
Not Warner, Greenlaw. Yeah, that should have been a pick six.
The way he's telegraphing it, staring that one receiver down. He didn't even go through his progression because if he had T.Y. Hilton standing in the middle of the field by himself, that's a touchdown.
And I honestly thought because Greenlaw didn't get the interception, me and Calvin's theory is, if you miss the pick, it usually come back and bite you in the form of a touchdown. So I was waiting for Gallup to catch that ball. And that was a poorly thrown ball because Gallup had a step on Ward.
Yeah, it literally comes down to that. You cannot blame the defense was gas because the offense was not, doing what they needed to do. But still, it was a one-score game. So you can't, like you said, you can't blame the defense.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot blame the defense. You cannot. Nope. Because they kept it to field goals every time Dak did something stupid with the ball. You can't blame him. Calvin, what was your takeaway from? Well, let's start off with the Cowboys and the 49ers. What was your takeaway from that game?
He kind of put it in words. You ever you think of something but you can't put it in words? Well, he just put it in words when he said this. I'm about to say discount. Dink and dunk Dak. I've always felt like, what I'm saying. X Factor. Are y'all familiar with the song X Factor by Lauryn Hill?
Mm-hmm.
And all the lyrics. That's what I got from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same shit, different toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like, one way or another, don't get me wrong, it's some shit like the defense is not guilty of any of this shit.
No, they're not.
Like it's kind of like the same shit. I think we all saying the same shit in different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the same. It's almost what happened like last year. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's a different way, but it's the same thing.
I'll be honest. That last play to me was funnier than last year.
They really. Hey, did you see? Okay, all right, because we, you know what I'm saying? They probably don't know this, but the group chat and shit. Okay, play by play. By 9:30, Tony said this shit over.
He did.
So,
he did.
The game was going on. He called. He said this shit over. We ain't never hear from that nigga again.
Nope.
Then as shit is transpiring, it's going down. They doing their thing. Dak is doing his thing. Mike McCarthy doing this thing. He's taking a sack instead of throwing it out of bounds. And now the punter's coming off. Same shit like last year.
Bad clock management.
Third, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they do the little. They throw the shit out of bounds, whatever. He didn't drag a spit. And then once they put in this trick play. And immediately, as soon as they put in this trick play, I spit out my Bacardi, and I go to my phone and I text, this should be good.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Hey, this should be good.
Yes, you did.
They put Zeke on.
Zeke was the center.
They ran this nigga clean the fuck over, and he put 5 yards. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. And it kind of ties into what you were saying and what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said they paid a good player great money.
Yeah, man.
And that's true. I didn't even think about it like that. Like he all he had to do. He's basically. I'm telling you, he's basically Romo. and we don't want.
Yeah, and that's what Sean just said. The same thing.
He's basically Romo.
Sean said the exact same thing.
I feel I could be wrong because if you go right now, you go to your phone and look at YouTube and go to Tony Romo highlights. Tony Romo. So I can tell you what, he's not even Romo. If you look at Romo highlights, Romo for the however long that if that clip is 5 minutes, for 4 minutes, he's running for his life, making something. He's running for his life. It's only till once they got the fucking offensive line that they had, you know what I'm saying, that they went to, they got, and it coincided with Romo's injury, and then he started playing. Dak started playing like, hey, this dude pretty good. Well, no, it's because the offensive line is 10 times better than it's been for the last 9 years that Romo was playing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to me, this is the difference between Dak and Romo. This is
what I was going to say about Tony Romo. Tony Romo did not have the team that Dak has had.
That's what I'm saying.
He was arguably one of the, if not the best, one of the top 2 players on all of his teams that he had. And the one time he did have a complete team, he get robbed because there's Cat.
I was going to say that 2014 team was pretty good. That 2017 where you lost to the Giants, that was pretty good.
And I'm not trying to butter Cowboys fans' bread right now, but just imagine if he didn't get hurt the next year with that offensive line and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because now you enter into a stage where you're not really necessarily rebuilding, but you're dealing with a young quarterback. And you can't open up the playbook. So you have somebody like Romo who had been running for his life for years. You know what I'm saying? And now he don't have to. They, you know, that's kind of like some history changing shit. But anyway, to get back to it, like the game the game yesterday. First of all, for personal reasons, I personally enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand, man, they smoke my boots, man. Not everybody.
Yeah.
And whoever that was, I think I knew who it was. Whoever that was in that group chat, I'm gonna tell you, Brandon.
Marcus.
He was breaking up with you. Dude, I've never seen a dude type a paragraph like that.
That was Marcus. You remember Marcus?
Okay, tall dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he get. He was prepared never to talk to you again, Brandon. He was prepared.
But he did make a point that I made to you a long time ago. He made a point that I made a long time ago, and this was during the season, not, once your team is eliminated. This is literally during the season.
Okay. That point was?
The point was exactly what he said. He said, you never hear a peep. You didn't hear peep. Other than our personal dialogue about Russell Wilson, you never hear a peep. What a podcast about how the Broncos are literally sucking real time.
If you listen to every...
But to base an entire thing around one team. You understand? You think nobody else was actually playing. Sometimes. I'm just saying.
If you listen
to... with that.
Okay, well, if you listen to my podcast throughout the season, nobody trashed the Denver Broncos more than me. I came on here in week 10 and said, we ain't going to win another motherfucking game this season. And so... Yeah, I said we ain't gonna win another game this season. Yeah. Nobody was harder on my team than me. And Marcus has known me long enough, and you've known me long enough, Tony. I don't care. You can throw the Denver Broncos shit at me all you want to. My disappointment for this season has come and gone. I'm a football fan. My energy is going to be based on the games that are being played at that time. You can throw anything you want to about the Denver Broncos to me because I agree with you. What you said to me, I've already said it. I don't, and when it comes to Dallas, I've kept my mouth shut the whole fucking season.
Wait a minute. When I spoke to you about that, you said it's the fans or something. You said, and I said, well, yeah, but that don't account for me. I'm a fan, but I don't really engage in that dialogue. Hence, one of my friends who's a San Fran called before the game and wanted to go back and forth and this and the other. I said, you call me talk X and O's, you call me just to talk.
When I said yesterday in the chat, it's some quiet Cowboy fans here. That was specifically for Marcus. And the only reason why I say that is because in the middle of the year, Marcus said something. He said, I'm keeping a lot of receipts and I'm going to be coming at a lot of people. And Brandon, you the first one. Okay, well, all I'm saying is, where you at?
Yeah.
Well, I gave you my trash talk. I
Yeah.
gave you my trash talk about the Broncos one singular time. I said we had that back and forth, and I said on paper, Russell looks good.
Bro.
That was it.
Bro, again, say what you want to say about the Broncos. That doesn't matter to me because I've already said it. What he was saying yesterday in those text messages, I said it 2 months ago. So it didn't bother me, but the fact that I could ruffle feathers like that, and then when you brought up we got more rings, I said, oh, I got you. I got him. I said, I got him because now you're desperate. You talk about we got more rings. I don't give a fuck about rings that the Cowboys won back when everybody grandmama had a black and white TV in their house. I don't give a damn about that.
I think sometimes we miss the point of this exercise. You know what I'm saying? Because like what I'm getting from this is the point of this is, and Tony and Brandon is a witness. I've always said, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to this football shit, Tony is not your average Dallas fan. You know what I'm saying? So he can be. When I say that, I mean he can be non-partial. He can be critical of his own team. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are critical of our own team.
Right.
Brandon, nobody's been harder on Broncos than you have.
That's right.
And nobody's been harder on the Tampa Bay than I have. And Tony, I've never known nobody be as hard as on the Cowboys as you have. Everybody don't do that. That was the point of the exercise. Like they can be crucial. They can be critical of their own team, except for most Dallas Cowboys teams. And they go sometimes they go as far as to trash your team, the other people's team.
Right. Exactly.
He's always since I told him about you, haven't I always said that like he's not your he can
Yeah.
Brandon, you
yeah, absolutely.
Nigga I know can chop it up with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been times when years past when he'll be like, "No, we ain't doing that." You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, "What y'all about to do?" He's like, "No, you know what I'm saying?" So that won't a shot at you. That was kind of like that was custom because they had some.
I realized where it was targeted to because I don't generally engage in that chat. But again, that's most. My point is most fan bases. For instance, this is Commanders area. This is Redskins territory, and they talk so much trash every single year. But they're going to talk trash to the Cowboy fans no matter what. Right. They're going to talk trash no matter what. Win, lose, or draw. As long as we beat the Cowboys, that's their mentality. Right. And I'm like, that's the best you can do for your team?
I've heard that. That's your Super Bowl. I got two friends, well, one of them passed away, but one is a Dallas fan, one's a Washington fan, and they will always go to the Washington game. And he would always talk about how rough it is when you go up there. Like, they talk cash shit. So I get that. You got to have that type of iron. You got to have your armor on because you're getting it from all sides locally. You know what I'm saying? I get that.
Well, you know, me and Marcus, Marcus is my bro.
Rational sort of hate because you got Dolphins fans say, I hate the Cowboys. That ain't a rivalry. We pay you once every 4 years. But you still mad about that Super Bowl back in the day?
Right.
Well, Marcus. Well, me and Marcus are brothers. I mean, honestly, that shit was fun. That shit was like I was literally laughing. If y'all had seen how hard I was laughing after each text, because when he first said I'm not even gonna respond because you'll get mad, and then them texts came one after the next,
He said he wasn't gonna respond, and then responded with a whole
with a whole motherfucking book,
a Leo 4-page letter. That shit was funny. That shit was
funny as a bitch, man. That was funny as a bitch.
On a note back on the game thing, quite literally, turnovers and penalties, you can't win. That is the bottom line. Turnover, we had them penalties. We had crucial penalties. Defensive line holding, which never gets called. But turnovers, you can't win.
And this is the point I was trying to make as far as the difference between Dak and Romo. One thing that has been a pet peeve of Dak's, particularly for the last 4 seasons, is they beat the hell out of inferior opponents. They beat bad teams. Last week, everybody got so excited because I'm not trying to be funny. Calvin, Tampa's been a bad team all season. So that didn't surprise me. Romo you would get Romo's best against the best competition. Romo would lose them games where you're like, how the hell did you lose that one? Romo would, you would just scratch your head with Romo because you knew the Cowboys were a better team, but somehow they would lose to the motherfucking Cardinals when the Cardinals were 2-10. Now, Dak is going to put up 50 points on that team, but when Dak steps up in competition, he crumbles. Where Romo would, Romo's only thing, Romo would step up in competition, but then that late game pick was coming, for whatever reason.
So what you said, I flashed back to when they played Redskins, and I think it was Monday night or Sunday.
Oh, for the division.
Game.
For the division title.
And he threw it to the left flat.
Yeah.
He threw it to the left flat.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember the Denver Bronco game.
Yeah. Oh man, and Marcus was at my house for that game. Oh my God.
You can't put that on Romo. The Broncos game, bruh. Two things happened. One, he did get his foot stepped on when he threw that pick. The center stepped on his foot. But more importantly, dude, you put up how many points? How many yards did Romo throw for? And how many touchdowns?
Yeah, it was the game. The final score of that game was what? 51 to 48.
It was 51 to 48.
51-48.
You make one stop defense. That's all.
Yeah.
I was just saying I remember those plays, but it's crazy. I'm not saying because it's a lady, but she is a football fan, the lady I work with. She was like, well, we was talking about this shit this morning. It was like, well, she was making some of, not all, but a little bit of the arguments y'all was making. And she's like, well, he is 30, so they might have to start looking for a quarterback.
No, you don't. No, you don't. If you start looking for a quarterback, it's not because of Dak's age, it's because of Dak's performance in big games.
Well,
Dak will be 30 by the time next season starts. That's not why you're looking for a quarterback. If they decide to look for a quarterback, it's not because of his age. Because especially now when quarterbacks are playing where until they 40s. That's not why. But look, let's.
You know what they need to do? They need to either look for a quarterback or send Kellen Moore packing and get an offensive coordinator that can somehow play to Dak's strengths.
Right. Well, I don't disagree with that. But let me get to the other games. Did y'all see them Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, you called it.
Did y'all see them Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. That game wasn't even close.
Yeah, that boy, he the truth. He's my nose. I see that. That was good. You called it. You said they'll be able to beat them because they can run the ball. And
that was a combination of them coming in with a great game plan. Burrow is Burrow, but they came in with a great game plan against Buffalo's defense. But then also, you got to wonder kind of the same thing with Josh Allen with that.
Yep.
Josh Allen starting to believe his own hype because he has regressed a lot.
Do you do you think that's a Brian Daboll factor? Because think about it. Daboll leaves, the turnovers go up. Daniel Jones all of a sudden gets better. Now, mind you, Daboll and no Daboll, the Buffalo still went out in the same round this year as they did last year. But what impressed, what impressed me, the score was 27-10, but it felt like that Philadelphia 38-7 score. Because to me, even in the snowy conditions, everything was set up for Buffalo. Snowy conditions. DeMar Hamlin is there. They're already selling tickets in Atlanta for the neutral site game between Buffalo and Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. And I told y'all, believe in what have I said for the last 2 years, Tony? Best set of skill set players in the league.
You did, but don't underestimate a good bulletin board material, because if they selling tickets, think about it. They were selling tickets for a game. They already wrote your game off. You're not gonna be there.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Any coach worth his salt to use that. They don't think y'all gonna be there. They already try to fuck y'all when the old boy went down, and so you know what I'm saying. So you can't. You know what I'm saying. God only knows how much that played a factor.
Well, to me, honestly, all Cincinnati did was pick up right where they left off from the Monday night game. Mm-hmm. Because before Hamlin got hurt, the Bengals was going up and down the field on them in the Monday night game. All they did was pick up that the Bengals are better than them. Just like I think the Bengals are better than the Chiefs. So Tony, what was your takeaway? What was the rest of your takeaway from Buffalo and Cincinnati?
You pretty much said it all. There's not much else to take away. Everything would seem that it favored Buffalo, except the game plan.
Yep.
And if they came back with the same game plan as the way that previous game started, that's the reason why they lost.
Yep. Yep.
Buffalo did a lot of slow developing mess with Cincinnati. That ball was out. it was gone.
Oh yeah.
You know, motion, everything, you know, safety valve, mixing underneath. Everything. They had everything covered.
Everything. Rushing the ball. I mean, Buffalo was averaging 6 yards a play on first down. They were never.
And we'll give the. You got to give the Bengals defense some credit.
People don't talk enough about them.
Yeah.
They're the top defense. They were the top
Yeah.
defense in the AFC. Calvin, what was your final takeaway from Cincinnati Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It seemed like Cincinnati was at home. The way they came out swinging, like they was ready for it.
Right.
And they don't give enough. They don't talk enough about how. Maybe because of last year in the Super Bowl about Eli Apple or whatever, but they don't talk about how good that defense is. They're very optimistic. Like they don't do everything great. They just do it when they have to, really, really good. And you know what I'm saying? And they are bad. And believe it or not, like, and this one saying real geeky or nerdy or corny, but like if you was to take their team and like if I know y'all don't play this shit, but like you was to go on Madden and look at the speed of their defense, like look at what the speed of each position is, they're up there with the fastest defense. Like they have, not everybody's not a blazer, but everybody has enough speed to, they're just faster than a lot of.
Well, they were the top rated defense in the AFC, and all of that is for a reason. I mean, they actually have a very good pass rush. Trey Hendrickson is an elite pass rusher. BJ Hill is a great nose tackle. Hubbard, Pratt, and then that backfield with Jesse Bates and the rookie who got the pick on Josh Allen. Eli Apple, they're technically sound good defense, and it doesn't surprise me. Joe Mixon said this 3 weeks ago. Everybody talking about Buffalo and Kansas City. He said we the big dogs of the AFC.
Yeah, I think sometimes the media and the powers that be that we those dark horses we say be at work when everybody's not working. They had already got in their mind that Mahomes and Allen are going to be the new type of
Brady and Manning.
Brady Manning, you know what I'm saying? Like they just
and they're absolutely wrong.
You know what I'm saying? And that may not necessarily be the case now, because that boy, he looks like he.
Well, speaking of Mahomes, what did you think? Calvin, I'll start with you. Kansas City versus Jacksonville. What did you think of that?
It won't much to think of. It went almost the way it went, except for Mahomes getting hurt. But it isn't like Jacksonville started playing worse than once Mahomes went out.
Jacksonville had chances, man.
They had chances, man. But as soon as Mahomes went out, they just didn't know what to do. Like, oh my God, like I don't know. I mean, that game, I'm be honest with, like, had that game had turned into a good game, that'd have been on me, because I kind of like paid the shit no mind, rather like, okay, Kansas City about to Kansas City these niggas, and we be done with this. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like we'll see. A
high ankle sprain ain't no easy injury, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll see. Like they may have lost the battle, but they may have cost them the war type shit. Like if he can't, because like I was just saying, like Cincinnati will hunt you.
Yep.
They will chase you down. They will hunt you, and not you know what I'm saying. So they may have did. Not that they needed it, but they may have did Cincinnati an unnecessary favor.
I said this. I remember I sent this out on the text line.
I believe Mahomes is probably the best of these young group of quarterbacks. But I think Burrow has a better overall cast around him.
That's not even close.
The defense, like you said, like that's the same rules apply. Like you said, same rules apply. Like you said, Cincinnati could be Buffalo, because Cincinnati could run the ball. Kansas City don't run the ball all that good.
No, I know that. I mean, but why running the ball like that? You're playing keep away.
Even if they did, could they really do it against Cincinnati? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Okay, well, what, Tony? What was your takeaway from that Kansas City Jacksonville game?
Well, you're right that Jacksonville had chances. The AFC is strong. Like, in terms of youth, they are strong. And if Lawrence can put it together, on a consistent basis, Jacksonville will be a force. Going ahead in the next week for Kansas City, though, while it's hard to beat a team with 3 times in a row, it's
They have
likely
beat
going
them
to
3
happen.
times in a row. This would be 4 times in a row.
4 times in a row. 4 times in a row. It's likely going to happen because they have Cincinnati has figured out both sides of the ball against Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy Reid, while he's an offensive guru, I don't see in the 8 days being able to formulate something that can, one, stop Cincinnati's offense, but 2, with a gimpy Mahomes, come up with a game plan that's going to negate what they've done against you previously. I don't see it.
Yeah, right.
Right,
So,
absolutely.
Jacksonville on one leg, but is he good to beat Cincinnati on one leg?
Yeah.
He's not good. He hasn't been good enough to beat Cincinnati on 2.
Right. So it's just not a good look for them going forward. It's just not. That's one of them games you would say, man, we could rely on our running game, but Kansas City has no running game. So.
I sent this text out right after the game. I said Kansas City is pissed right now. I said they would have rather a neutral site game against Buffalo than to see Cincinnati walk back in the Arrowhead Stadium. You think Cincinnati was confident last year? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they know the Golden Boy guy. You know what I'm saying? He might not be 100%.
These are these times where and you got to consider when you had skill position players that were equal to Bengals skill position players, and you let them dudes walk to that dude walk to Miami. So what you got?
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying? I always believe, like, because they say, these games are a game of matchups, but sometimes it boils down to a game of schemes. Like, it's like, sometimes people just have your number. You know what I'm saying? Who's the coach for the Bengals? Zach Taylor?
Zach Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, where was he coaching at first? Coaching at before this? Because he was an assistant somewhere.
He was an assistant under McVay.
While he was in
the Rams.
While he was with the Rams. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like he just got that Steve. What's their defensive coordinator name in Kansas City?
Steve Spagnuolo.
Steve, I couldn't say the dude's name. It seemed like he just sometimes you just have him. You know what I'm saying? But like again, we'll see.
Okay.
It could anything can happen, but
And finally, Tony, I'll start with you. New York Giants against Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, you New York Giants, you disappoint me. You thought they would at least showed up to play. Like, they didn't even show up to play. Who was that dude? Who was that? I forget who it was that was saying that he basically said what I said, that the Giants of all teams you're supposed to show up and get up and play against is a rival.
Yeah,
and the Giants showed nothing, like literally nothing.
Yeah, you would think of the division game in the playoffs would have a little bit more teeth to it.
Yeah, it's really nothing much to take away from that. I mean, Philadelphia just kicked their ass.
And the strange thing is, early on, they just seemed passive because, the man's arm was hurt, shoulder was hurt. You should have been testing that early by sitting in the house. And their coach typically does that. Why he was just sitting back, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. You got to set that tone early. And once they got the running game going, it was over.
I mean, they had the running game. I mean, I said the game was over with after the first quarter. For all intents and purposes. Definitely half. When it was 28-0, I said, well, the Giants ain't Jacksonville. I said, they ain't. And I said, and the Eagles' defense ain't the Chargers. So I said, for all intents and purposes, this game is over, done, wrapped, finito. And Philadelphia looked dominant the way they needed to look dominant, which brings us to Championship Sunday. How do you see the matchups looking? Okay, Calvin, I'll start with you. Philadelphia 49ers. Yes, I'm going to brag about this. I called this shit 2.5 months ago. I sure did. Philadelphia 49ers, who you got and why?
I got Philly. I was going back and forth, but I had Philly. But y'all niggas keep being right about certain shit. I remember one of y'all, I can't remember, said that boy Birdie is due for a goose egg.
Well, yeah, Tony said that, but he was saying that with the hopes of that happening yesterday. I said he is due for a goose egg, but that's gonna come against Philly. But go ahead.
Well, he kind of had, it was kind of halfway out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm going with Philly. I'm going with Philly because I think the goose. I just remember one of y'all mentioned the goose egg, and I ain't seen it yet. So I'm waiting on the goose egg. I think it's gonna happen.
All right, Tony, who you got and why?
I'm going to continue on your so-called Philadelphia hate, and I'm going to say because largely we made Debo invisible yesterday. He's going to be visible next week. Debo and Kittle are going to be key for them. I'll take the 49ers. I think both of them have really good defenses. Both of them are run-oriented. I just think the 49ers might be a little bit more run-oriented outside of the quarterback.
Really?
Outside of the quarterback, because Hurts accounts for a lot of their rushing. Sanders is nice, but the 49ers, they
but it's
run
not just Sanders. It's Sanders and Gainwell and Scott.
Yeah, I mean, but still. Yeah, I'll take the Niners.
Okay, and I think, and this is going to be a great game. Both teams are so evenly matched, Tony. I think your Philadelphia hate is going to ride them to the Super Bowl. I'm going with the Eagles, and actually seeing what Dallas's defense was able to do to San Francisco's skill position players gave me more confidence in the Eagles because I think Philadelphia's defense is better than Dallas's. We talk about Micah Parsons all day long. Hassan Reddick is a monster. That dude is a beast. And I think that egg that you're talking about for Purdy is going to come at the link. So, I'm...
Reddick?
Huh?
No, I'm listening to you. I had a question for you after you finish.
No, go ahead.
Reddick, he play outside linebacker or middle linebacker?
Outside.
He played the same position as Parsons did.
Yeah.
Same type of role. Okay. All right.
Not the same type of role. Not the same type of role though. Because that's been my complaint with Parsons, why Quinn just decided to exclusively put him on that line instead of moving him around is kind of what negated him somewhat. You should have just left him at linebacker and let him free rush like Reddick does. Reddick free rush.
Yeah. Well, Dan Quinn's scheme is that cover 3-4 front type thing, and most of their rushes are the front four anyway. So that's probably why he did this shit. I don't know what type of scheme they run in Philadelphia, but they probably use their outside linebackers and a lot of this shit like that. Like Parsons was really Parsons really a fucking what you call it, like a surprise. Like they didn't know that boy was gonna be able to do that shit the way he do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's my take.
Okay, so we got one. Calvin, you're Philadelphia. Tony, you're San Francisco. All right, no problemo. So AFC Championship game, Tony. Bengals Chiefs rematch.
Yeah, I already called that. The Bengals is going to be 4 in a row.
Okay.
Yeah, Bengals. I'm going to Bengals.
All right. Okay. See, y'all, they finally starting to listen to me about Cincinnati. I've been saying this. Everybody thought last year was a fluke. Yeah. And now with a banged up Mahomes, that makes it even worse. I don't think that this game will go into overtime. I think that this game will look eerily similar to what you just saw yesterday between Cincinnati and Buffalo.
Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's going. They're going to take care of them.
Yeah.
So I'm picking a Philadelphia Eagles, Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'll be strange. That'll be weird. But it is what it is. wonder what kind of scheme they do run in Philadelphia though. Is it like a 3-4? Is it? They got. I wonder now. 'Cause you got that. Who is that? You got Fletcher Cox. Is Cox an end or a tackle?
He's a tackle.
He's a
Cox and Jordan Davis are a tackle.
Rotate them dudes. It's him and Jordan Davis, and then Sue and Linville Joseph.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do run a front four front. So they still got Brandon Graham.
Yes, they got Brandon Graham. Yes. I didn't realize he had been in the league as long as he'd been in the league. I didn't know this was his 13th year.
Yeah, he's been there for a minute. He was like a veteran when they won it a couple of years ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just didn't know he had been there really that long. I didn't know he had been there since 2010.
Right, I don't know. You make a good point then, because they run the same type of shit. Why he just don't move him? I don't know now.
Because they don't run the same type. Quinn, again, Quinn is stubborn. The Phillies thing is based on pressure up the middle. They literally, because they've had Fletcher Cox, so by default, you're getting pressure up the middle. They want their tackles to be able to put pressure up the middle, not just eat up space. And Quinn does not necessarily believe in that, and he believes in that speed defense, so he'll get them old lightning-ass tackles, taking on two blockers that they can't really hold the point of attack.
Yeah.
Whereas Fletcher Cox would create the point of attack from tackle. You should know that. Warren Sapp, what effect does that have? It makes them quarterbacks roll right into them ends' arms.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot of times with Philly. It ain't rocket science.
Yeah, because Dan Quinn's MO is, you're right, because the thing about Seattle, you had really, really tall corners, defensive back, and really small, agile. Because what really small, agile, it seems like they get smaller as you get close to the ball. Not literally, but like far as average size for that player. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're saying. And they used to. And one thing I haven't seen him do with y'all yet is he used to. When you said Philadelphia used to rotate, I know Dan Quinn. That scheme, you have to be able to rotate boys in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like remember when they had Cliff Averill and the boys, they had Red Grant and Michael Bennett. You need that for that scheme to be successful. You might be adding them pieces next year. I don't know.
He's gonna be in Denver next year.
No, he's not.
He's gonna either be Denver and the Colts next year.
Okay, well, no, I don't think he's gonna be with us next year. I don't know. I think we'll probably veer to an offensive coach, but I don't think Dan Quinn is gonna be with y'all next year. I don't think D'Amico Ryans is gonna be with San Francisco next year.
Nah.
No, I don't think so. So let me ask y'all both a question. Calvin, I'll start with you. Let's talk about the teams that lost, that just went home. What do you think they need to do? Start with Jacksonville. What do you think Jacksonville needs to do going forward?
They probably just need to keep doing what they've been doing because there was this the first year this was the first year that head coach was there. They drafted first overall 2 years in a row. Nobody thought they could do what they got to do. Nobody thought they would do what they did. The vision is pretty still soft. You know what I'm saying? I think they just need to keep build on what they got. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Like,
Tony, what do you think with Jacksonville?
Yeah, they don't need to change anything. They're already on an upward trajectory, and they got youth on their side. I don't think that they're really deficient in any one area that free agency necessarily would be worth addressing. Just continue what they're doing. Draft more bodies, more talent. That's it.
They have Calvin Ridley coming off a suspension next year too, so that's another weapon. Remember, I think people may have forgot that they traded for him before the season started.
I forgot. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
That don't mean nothing, no, because you don't know what you're getting with that dude.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you get a productive version of him, that's a
clearly,
good.
So you don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you get a productive version of him, that's a good weapon alongside with Kirk and the Jones boys. All right. Well, stay in the AFC. Tony, Buffalo. What do you think Buffalo needs to do going forward?
I don't know. Honestly, I get a running back.
Yeah.
Develop a running game. A true running game. Beyond that, again, they have talent, and I mean, you might want to consider something with Josh Allen because clearly he's regressed. I don't know what you could do in that situation, but yeah, they need to get a running game.
Calvin, what do you think Buffalo should do going forward?
Well, like you said, his safety blanket had left. His safety blanket is in another part of the state right now, so they just need to show. They need to show up with him and buckle down and get somebody that can maybe promote whoever was working with Brian Dable, whoever the quarterback coach was. Get him more in tune with the offense because obviously some shit was working. Some shit was working at first, and it's not there no more. One of their starting safeties on IR all year, so
Micah Hyde.
Develop a running game and get a little healthier because they missing Michael Hyde, they missing Von Miller. They brought Von Miller in for that Bengals game.
Yep, and the Bengals had 3 replacement offensive linemen, and Burrow got sacked once. That's it.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think main thing Buffalo needs to do is get a running game and try to stay healthy through the season during defense.
And get healthy.
Now for the NFC, Calvin, first question, Giants. What do the Giants need to do going forward?
Shit. I don't play the Eagles in the playoffs. I don't know. They like another surprise team. You can't say we got to do something. We got to do something different. You just got to. They just another example of do what you did, but do it a little better. Like that division is only going to get. It's not going to get no easier because everybody's young. It's not going to get no easier. You just gotta. You gotta finish.
All right.
Finish like
Tony. Giants.
The Giants need to address the wide receiver position.
Ding, 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 ding.
Because Slayton is not the answer. They need to address that wide receiver position, really. And then the offensive line. They still need a couple pieces there. But that's it.
You have to re-sign Daniel Jones and Saquon. But yeah, I agree. Wide receivers, You thought Kenny Golladay was the answer. I'm pretty sure he'll be cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Golladay has been one of the worst free agent signings ever. So yeah, I think Now finally, Calvin, Dallas Cowboys. What do you think they need to do going forward?
If we being truthful, I'm gonna be honest with you. They need to keep Dan Quinn and don't let Tony Pollard get hurt because I think that changed the game. Like we've been a different game had he stayed in there because you don't know what they're gonna do if he's in there. And when Zeke in there, you know what they could do, but you know what they can't. So they just need. So I would just try to keep Dan Quinn because that defense, was the key. That whole scheme, that I'm telling you, it's everything. Like I know a lot of people like to yell Dak and Zeke, whatever. But you know how I feel about 4 niggas that can get to the ball with no protection, Brandon. You know how I feel.
Oh yeah.
So,
that makes life so much easier.
That's
what the Eagles do.
So I think they number one keep Dan Quinn and try to simplify the offense from Dak so he's not staring niggas in the face every play.
All right, Tony. What do your beloved Cowboys need to do to improve?
I'm going to say the same thing. We need to invest in D tackles. We need to get legitimate D tackles that actually can hold the point of attack and or push the pocket, collapse the pocket. That's just not something they invest in. Like literally, the last good one was Jay Ratliff.
Oh wow, you went back in the time machine for that one. Lord, Jay Ratliff.
But I'm serious. And before that, Russell Maryland.
Man, I didn't have kids when Jay Ratliff was okay.
it's just not something that they put a premium on, and I'm not sure why that is. You got to stop the run. But beyond that, I do agree that something got to change in terms of that. I think Kellen Moore needs to be gone. Let him go and pursue whatever he wants to pursue. And bring in somebody that is more experienced. Kellen Moore, that dude is younger than some of the dudes on the damn field. So bring in somebody that has a little bit more experience. And I don't, when you say simplify, I don't want to simplify to the point where defensive, because even in that, the strange thing with the Tampa thing, I forget what the Tampa player, even though we beat Tampa, he said the offense is predictable. You can tell by formation what they're going to do. When it gets to that point, it's time to make some changes because,
I have a question. Is he a hangover from the Jason Garrett regime? Like
who?
Kellen Moore, yes. He's a backup quarterback.
Yeah, so he was hired by Jason Garrett.
Kellen Moore was a backup behind Dak and Romo, right?
Right. Yeah, he was a rookie behind Romo and then behind Dak, and then Jason Garrett promoted him, and that's how he ended up where he is.
Well, there you go. So you're basically running the same offense. So basically, they've been running kind of the same offense that they tried to get rid of. Pretty much, sort of.
Well, yeah, no, because Kellen Moore came from Boise State or
Boise
one of them.
State, yeah.
And so he tries to put some of that college mess in, and it's the pros, baby. So it don't exactly work, like that. And I do think some of his plays are really ambitious. He puts in plays that just it don't fit Dak's skill set.
I got you. I read somewhere that a lot of you. And this not, let's all be clear. Us three dudes on the phone, our quarterbacks did not live up to our expectations. Agreed?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish. So this
y'all quarterbacks did better than mine. Shit.
L. One thing about L's, they come on one side, and that's custom. On that day, So let's not, But I read somewhere I heard somewhere that it said quarterback. Coach, one of your jobs as a coach is to eliminate disaster. Like if you know your coach, if you know your player can't do this, is no, we're not doing it. I don't care what they say. We just gonna not do that, and then we have to do something to their skill set. So I guess that kind of speaks to what he was saying about old boy. Like the shit he be calling sometimes don't necessarily do what Dak be. It don't really work to his skill set. Because sometimes he had that look. That look where we was talking, Sometimes he had that look like his eyes wide, his mouth open, and he just lost. Like, not so lost, like confused, like, oh shit.
Well, I'm going to say what the Cowboys need to do. I'm going to quote my cousin David, who was on here earlier. He said they need to get on the bus.
He's not as intelligent. He's not as intelligent as, say, a Romo was. And if you look at Burrow will go through 5 reads on one play.
He sure will. Burrow got a lot of Peyton Manning. Burrow got Peyton Manning in him.
But then the thing, a lot of plays are all about timing. That ball needs to be gone at a certain time because when that receiver turns around, that ball needs to be on him. He's stuck on him. If not, then you got the linebacker that can cut underneath it and pick it off, or And Dak is like Cam Newton was. He got to see the guy open and then try to muscle the ball in, and that don't work in today's NFL.
Yeah. I always thought Burrow was the love child of Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. Because he's smart enough to be on that Peyton Manning, but he's just so cool. Like, you remember, I ain't talking about Aaron Rodgers now. Aaron Rodgers, he's kind of like on some Anakin Skywalker type shit. Like, he's not the same dude we once met. You know what I'm saying?
You mean 2010 Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, 2010 Aaron Rodgers when he was like just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like I'm talking about that Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. He's a mixture. I get that from him, the coolness, but I get the Peyton Manning type of.
Burrow reminds me of, it's funny because my uncle texted me and said Burrow's the next Brady. I said, well, I think Burrow's the next Montana.
You think so?
Yeah, because, he's coolness, check. He's more mobile,
right.
Check.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see him being like Montana. Now,
yeah.
As far as adjustments, my cousin said this when I asked him the same question about what adjustments the Dallas Cowboys need to make. He said they all need to get on a bus and drive that son of a bitch off a cliff, Stone Cold style. That's what my cousin David said.
Hey, but you know what? Before I forget, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about like comparisons of quarterback, like the only like, okay, when you think about intelligence, you think about Peyton Manning. When you think about arm strength, you think about like a Favre. You think, you know what I'm saying? The only thing you can really like, only thing you can really, cause you can't really compare anybody to Brady. Because the only thing you can say, I mean, not only thing you can say, but when you think about Brady, you think about ring. A stupid amount of. Maybe it's not all the time legitimately earned, but just rings. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like comparing Burrow to Brady. I like, you know what I'm saying, because he's a more physical specimen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Brady is closer to Dan Marino was.
There you go.
You said Brady?
Yeah.
Brady and Dan Marino.
There you go. Just Dan Marino threw a prettier football.
Yeah.
I thought Dan Marino was a lot more mobile than Brady, man.
No, Dan Marino was a statue.
Dan Marino was a statue.
Dan Marino was a statue. You got mobile mixed up with Elway was the mobile one. Elway was the mobile one.
Dan Marino would not run to save his own life.
No.
I remember. Wait a minute. Hold on. I remember exactly what street we was on. I don't remember what year. It had it been like 2011 or 2010, but I remember we were sitting right there on, is it Gay Avenue? And we was at your homeboy house. You was dropping something off, and you argued me down, and you told me that Dan Marino was a mobile quarterback.
No. Mobile in the pocket, yes.
That's
running, no. But mobile in terms of manipulating the pocket, was one of the best that did it just by shifting. That's not necessarily mobility. Brady, it's hard to get sacks on because he manipulates that pocket. He don't run, he just manipulates the pocket.
But you remember what I was talking about. Do you remember what I was? Do you remember? It was at some dude's house. We was outside, and we was talking about quarterbacks, and I said something about Dan Marino, and you.
Well, nothing mobile about Marino. No.
Exactly what my argument is now. Dan Marino was very hard to sack simply because he manipulated that pocket. He wasn't mobile. He didn't run.
Not even Ace Ventura version of Dan Marino was that mobile.
Well, okay. I can see that now.
Well, I mean, the combination between that and that ball be gone. He had one of the quickest Okay. So
well,
gone.
All right, well, fellas, I got your picks. We have Calvin saying Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Tony saying San Francisco and Cincinnati.
I think it's going to be a repeat. The NFL would love to see a repeat of Super Bowl? What was it? Last time the Bengals and the 49ers. Yeah.
The John Taylor catch. Yeah, I got you. But we'll see. But fellas, I will hit you guys up when we have a Super Bowl matchup set.
All right, man.
Okay.
All right, y'all take y'all time. Later. Plus, my phone was starting to die anyway. But Big C, my man Tony. I tell you, Tony, that Philadelphia Eagles hate is going to ride the Eagles to the MF and Super Bowl. I'm trying to tell you, dude. But, yeah, man, that's Championship Sunday. That's all right. On to basketball. Let's quickly check on things with the NBA today. We have actually reached the mid-season point. And in the Eastern Conference, it looks like Boston is head and shoulders better than everybody else. They right now sit at the number 1 seed with a 35-12 record. Number 2 is Philadelphia, 30-16. 4.5 games back. Giannis has been nursing a little bit of a knee injury. Milwaukee's number 3. Kevin Durant is out probably at least for another month. The Nets are the 4th seed, but the Nets had a big win last night at Golden State because they had to prove that they could actually win a basketball game without Kevin Durant. Since KD got hurt, it's almost like a replay of last season. When KD got hurt, the Nets were number 1 or a half game out of the number 1 spot. Once he gets hurt, they just can't win a game. Come on, Mr. Kyrie Irving, what you doing there, boy? And the 5th seed, you got Cleveland, and 6th seed, you got Miami. New York is at 7, Atlanta's at 8. So, those are your 8 seeds through the East. And then the West, the Denver Nuggets right now. Nobody has really blazed a trail where you can say there's an outright favorite to come out of the Western Conference. Denver is at number 1, and I've kind of been expecting this from the Nuggets. You know, when all of their pieces get healthy, Jamal Murray is finally healthy. Michael Porter Jr. is always in and out, but, you know, Jokic is Jokic. Aaron Gordon, I believe, is going to be an all-star this season. They're number 1. Memphis, they play with all that heart. Did y'all see that game on Friday where Memphis was playing at the Lakers? And right before halftime, Dylan Brooks got into a shouting match. Looked like it was going to turn into a physical confrontation with Shannon Sharp. I thought that was special. I mean, just a bunch of cuss words being flown. Dylan Brooks arguing with Shannon Sharp. Then John Morant's daddy hopped into it, and him and Shannon Sharp got into it. Anyway, cooler heads ended up prevailing. Everybody made peace, kissed, and made up. Well, at least as far as Shannon Sharp and T. Morant, John Morant's father. But Memphis right now sits at number 2. The number 3 seed is the Sacramento Kings. I mean, when the hell the last time the Sacramento Kings been relevant in basketball, period? I'm starting to think, I'm like, damn, is Chris Webber back on the team? Is Stojakovic? Is Bibby and them back there? No, you got to give Mike Brown a hell of a nod for the job that he's done thus far coaching this team. The Sacramento Kings are the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. Nobody believes in them. I don't believe in them. But it's good to see a team that's been a doormat for the better part of the last 20 years. Because really, the Kings, the last time the Kings went to the playoffs was 2006 when they had Ron Artest. The last time they were a championship threat was about 20 years ago when they had Weber and Bibby and Stojakovic and Turkoglu and Bobby Jackson and all of those guys. Oh, what a time to be young. What a time for basketball. Basketball back then was so great. Because back then, star players used to play basketball, not this load management pussy-ass shit that we got now. Anyway, the New Orleans Pelicans are the number 4 seed. Got to get Zion back on the court. I mean, look, I really, and as much as I may, come at Zion about his physique and his shape, I really want Zion Williamson to stay healthy. Because when that dude is healthy, that dude is a difference maker. He is a absolute beast. And the New Orleans Pelicans, when he got hurt, I said the New Orleans. When he got hurt, New Orleans was number 1 in the West. But they're number 4 now. The Mavericks are number 5. And keep in mind, these records, like the Sacramento Kings are the number 3 team in the West with a 26-19 record. Meh. The Pelicans are 26-21. Meh. Dallas number 5 at 25-23. Meh. The Clippers are 25-24 at 6. Meh. So you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. The East right now looks a lot stronger, at least when it comes to top heavy, because at 7 you got Phoenix. 7 and 8, Phoenix and Minnesota are tied at 24-24. My Los Angeles Lakers are literally. My Los Angeles Lakers are 4 games out of having home court advantage in the playoffs. Now, say what you will, and I have no expectations of my Los Angeles Lakers. I would like Anthony Davis to get back, to playing the way he was playing before he got hurt. But, I mean, I have no expectation of the Lakers. But say what you will, ever since the first 14 games of the season where the Lakers had such a horrible start, the Lakers have been pretty good. They've been pretty good. Russell Westbrook has been outstanding coming off the bench. LeBron, y'all know I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but, he's putting up those numbers. He's going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. But I just wanted to point that out in regards to the NBA. Like I said, I don't fully get into basketball mode until football is over with, and they continue extending the football season. So, like I said, basketball, the regular season is halfway over. The regular season is halfway over already. I'm looking at the schedule now for the NBA. No real key matchups. Atlanta at Chicago looks like a pretty decent game tonight anyway. Tomorrow, Clippers at Lakers. But that's, people try to paint the Clippers and the Lakers out to be a rivalry. It ain't, bro. The Clippers have owned us. And now Kawhi Leonard has actually resumed his career of playing basketball instead of playing Mr. Load Management. So the Lakers haven't been able to hold the Clippers jockstrap. I mean, that's just what it is. I'm just being real. As a diehard Laker fan, and don't get it twisted, I'm a diehard Laker fan, but I'm a realistic Laker fan. the Clippers ain't had, the Lakers ain't had shit for the Clippers. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Of course, I hope we win because I think the Clippers have won like the last 9 straight, 10 straight against the Lakers. Some ridiculous ass number that we would have never dreamed of at all in the heyday of the Lakers. But, it is what it is. I'm about to get into basketball mode. But with that being said, where the buzzer, where the buzzer, where the buzzer. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, that it is 2 days before my baby girl's birthday. My baby girl, London, is going to be 7 years old. I was messing with her yesterday. I was telling her she was just going to be 5, but she looked like she was getting in her feelings. I got, London, baby girl, you got to get out your feelings so much. We's only joking. Okay, I remember that day, January 25th, 2016, when I was blessed with a daughter, and she will be 7 on Wednesday. So, guess who I have here with me? It is my baby girl, London. Come here, boo-boo. Chum here. Say something in the microphone. Say hi.
Hi.
Whose birthday is coming up on Wednesday?
Mine.
What's your name?
London.
How old you going to be, baby?
7.
How old?
7.
Say it loud and proud.
7.
You're going to be 7 years old. What grade are you in?
1st grade.
And what school do you go to?
Holiday Elementary School.
Oh, Holiday Elementary School. So you're a 1st grader. You turning 7 years old. Oh, you 7 already. You ready to get a job?
Yes.
You ready to get a job?
Yes.
All right, well, what do you want to do for a job? Let's think about it. What you want to do? Yeah, because it's time for you to start. You 7 years old, girl. It's time for you to start paying bills. You ready to start paying bills?
Yes.
Okay, then what job you want?
Work at Walmart.
You want to get a job at Walmart?
Yes.
You want to work at Walmart?
Yes.
All right, so if you work at Walmart, you know what that means?
Yes.
Free discounts for your daddy. I'm just joking, baby. 7 years old. We'll pick that Walmart job up in about 9 years, okay?
Okay, when I grow up, I'm gonna pay some bills.
Girl, you're making me so proud. I want to cry right now. She said when she grow up, she gonna pay some bills. That's all I ever wanted. No, I'm just playing. I love you, honey.
I love you too, and I am growing up so fast.
Oh, say it again.
I'm growing up so fast.
That's right. Y'all heard it because she said it. Y'all heard my daughter because she said it. All right, baby. Thank you. I love you so much. Who birthday coming up?
Mine.
That's right. All right, baby. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, hold up. She reaching back for the mic. I done created a monster. Go ahead. Say what you want to say, baby. Say what you want to say.
I will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, and now I got my oldest one right behind me. You got something you want to say, buddy?
What's up?
Up. See, look, now he trying to put the deep voice on. Go ahead, tell him who you are again, just to remind him.
My name is Roman, and I'm 11 years old. I do play games a lot on the weekends.
Come on, step in here. Let him hear you. You say you do what?
I do play games a lot on the weekends.
What else?
I also am in 6th grade.
What school you go to?
I go to middle school.
What's the name of your middle school?
Brooklyn Middle School.
You ready to get a job? Because you damn near a teenager. Are you ready to get a job?
Maybe. I'm nervous.
Nervous about what?
Getting a job.
What are you nervous about getting? Your still 6-year-old sister says she ready to get a job and you about to be a teenager and you don't know if you want a job, boy. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
You ready to pay some bills? Yeah, how about helping me pay for that cell phone you got?
Okay.
boy. Okay. All right. Oh, my kids. Well, definitely hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. And yes, now my kids now who are older now, they done got a taste of that podcast mic, and London is right behind me, and she got, I think I done created a monster now. You want to say something else? Okay, come on with it.
And I'm gonna make my mom so proud if I grow up so fast.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well, it's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, Sports Plus Life. I'm out this. My kids are around. I ain't gonna finish that statement. But peace, and I love ya.